the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from gaming sips. Critical minds and candid lips. And Generation X gaming show. Tune in where the thoughts flow. Rant and rave with words that glow. Weekly stories make them go.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another day, another week, another episode of Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. I'm your host, 30 and Still Gaming, and joining me each and every single week is Sarge Mclusky. What's going on, bro?
Why is it's every Friday after we do a show, there's hand grenades being thrown?
It's the end of the week. Let people, digest it for the weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but we talk about some stuff, and then like Friday comes and like all hand grenades get thrown, and then by the time we get to now, it's almost been a week.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about all this other stuff that's been going on. I'm like, I don't even know where to begin.
Well, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. We pick Thursday nights because usually most of the shit happens on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So usually when we hit it, but you can't win it. So it is what it is. So what's going on, Chad? Generation X Gaming, a weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories in the past week, and we rant along the way. We're here live Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on 30 NSG. If you can watch the past broadcast as well over on Spotify or anywhere else a podcast is listened to, you can also watch the past broadcast right here on 30 NSG. On today's show, we got a lots to talk about for Xbox. Since Phil Spencer was fired. No, he retired. And then Sarah Bond walked out. No, she got fired. Right. That all happened. Then we got the new CEO, then tried to pretend that she was a gamer, not a gamer. And then they talked about what they're going to do. Lots of Xbox stuff we're going to talk about. We're also going to talk about Star Wars Galaxies a little bit. That had a little update all these years later, 15 years later, 20 years later. We're going to talk about Discord. Discord is backtracking on what they said they were going to do to the second half of 2026. So we'll talk about that a little bit. We're going to talk about PlayStation. There's a couple of stories about Sony PlayStation. We're also going to talk about Marvel, Wolverine. They announced the actual date for that. We're going to talk about Marathon, the Marathon numbers on Steam right now, and what people, early. It's early. It's the opening of the server slam, whatever they're calling it. So we'll see what's happening there. We're going to talk about other topics in Xbox. We're going to go over the X-Men Maximum Collection and show you what that is. We're going to talk about High Guard. High Guard is there. They are flying high, Sarge. Let me tell you, they got a new update, a new game mode coming out. People are ecstatic about this update. There's tens of people. Let me tell you. All right, we'll talk about High Guard. We're going to talk about Battlefield a little bit. People are a little worried about Battlefield, Sarge, because they feel like there's only a skeleton crew and they're not going to fix the game that came out just 4 months ago, but we'll have a little conversation about that. And then we're going to talk about Paramount and Netflix trying to get WB. That whole big thing has shifted and changed over there. All this and today on episode 478 of GXG. So sit back, relax, and let's get to what we've been playing. All right, Sarge, another week. What have you been playing? Anything exciting, anything new, anything different that you tried?
Yeah, nothing exciting from your guys' perspective because I'm still in the RTS world. I watch RTS videos, seeing what kind of RTSs are coming out.
Somebody interested in the RTS world?
Well, I'm sure there is because they've been blitzing like the top 25 RTSs that are supposed to come out this year. That's a lot of RTSs. Now, of course, not all of them are going to be great, but at least they're making RTSs. That's always a good news. I played the Techmarine today, right after you guys finished the show this morning. I immediately downloaded it and started playing it. It's good.
Which one was this?
Techmarine for
Oh,
Space Marine
Techmarine.
2. Yeah,
Yeah.
Techmarine for Space Marine 2.
Do you get to jump into the
I use bots. And I put my difficulty up higher, and I'm just walking through the new level, checking it out. I got probably about halfway through, and then I failed the mission because I missed something and I lost all the XP. So I got to do it again.
Oh, you don't even get so you have to complete the missions.
Well, there was a critical moment in the mission that I had to do, and I failed it. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. I was trying to defend something, but I wasn't defending it properly, so I lost the mission, and you just go back home. It says you failed.
I'm having fun in that game, man. We've only been playing it for 4 weeks, like only on Wednesday nights. Or at least I've only been playing it on Wednesday nights.
4 weeks? Has it been 4 weeks?
It's been 4 weeks, yeah, because we played it 2 weeks for the campaign, and then yesterday was our second time playing for the end content.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, it's part 4.
So he's got like the Doc Ock arm coming out the right side of him. He's got his 2 hands, and he's got a Doc Ock arm. And then on his shoulder on his left side, he's got the mechanical arm that does the repairs and stuff. And then on the right pauldron, he's got a gun on a turret. And that's your ability. You press the Y button and the turret just goes crazy and starts shooting.
Cool.
All right. And when I was walking around, I picked the new mission. I didn't pick the old mission, but I picked the new mission. And for some reason on the new mission, there's the tarantula guns that are on the ground, and the Techmarine goes up and plugs into them and activates them, and they start shooting at guys.
Oh, that's cool.
And so I don't know if they add those now to the other missions because he's playing, or is it only on that mission?
Yeah, maybe it is. They added it now because it's a new update, right? So it's just like a patch.
I mean, I don't know. That means every time you do the Techmarine, that means these turrets are
hanging around the board. Yeah,
are hanging around and on the level, which is interesting. Yeah. I think it's a little not really fair. I listen. I know how powerful.
Fair to who? The NPCs?
I don't know how like I don't know the power level that he's going to be when he reaches max level, because I went up like one level. That's all I went up. But considering what I see what the powers are going to be, I mean, he's going to be like ridiculous. And the problem with it's going to be you're going to have to play by yourself because everyone's going to want to play the Techmarine.
We got to get a mount for you so your camera doesn't shake like it's a goddamn earthquake every time you talk.
Yeah, but the camera will still be mounted somewhere near the desk.
Then you just put it on the wall. Like you just mount it to the wall. The wall's not moving.
Yeah, I guess we could do
that. What else? Anything else you've been playing?
No, not really. RTSs during the day and Space Marine at night. That's usually how it goes. Nothing really interesting right now.
I tried the TCG card simulator that came on the Game Pass because I played it on PC. I played it. We talked about Supermarket one a couple months ago. It feels good having the TCG card sim on the console, but man, it is so
cumbersome. It has to be.
It's so cumbersome on the controller. It is.
You have to relearn it. You have to relearn the controller.
They do that. They do the fast thing where you can use the D-pad and it just moves across like when you're giving change and stuff.
Yeah,
like super fast. But I hate giving change, so I just make everything like round numbers, so I don't ever have to give change, right? So,
well, that's what the government's doing right now when they get rid of the penny.
Yeah. There's no.
What's hilarious is I watched it live. There are places now that price everything with a nickel, right? Which doesn't make any sense because you have to add tax.
Right.
So eventually you're going to have to give change. Like you have to give change.
Yeah, they'll just round it up and you get less change back.
Yeah, but you can't round it up because somebody gets stolen from.
Yeah, someone gets stolen and that'll be you, the consumer. Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
It's just messed up, bro. It's just messed up. Right? Listen, I understand that you're saying that it costs 6 cents to make a penny and that's why they can't do it. But we're in debt for 100,000 other reasons. So just keep making the fucking penny because stop trying to think you're going to circumvent the cents because of taxes. That you're not gonna involve the penny. Penny's involved, right?
Right.
Because either whatever the thing is, and you round up. It's almost like the Superman 3 crime, right? Where you round up the penny, right? If I round up all the pennies to the nickel,
Office Space, same thing
on everything.
Yeah.
Then somebody's making extra hundreds of millions of dollars a year.
Yep. No.
You know what I mean? Like you just can't get rid of the penny. You can't say it's too expensive. We're not using the penny anymore. So you're going to get rid of the 1 cent. You're not going to round it or nothing. Not just that's it. That's how it's going to work. No, it doesn't work that way because someone's going to figure out how to fuck somebody over and is going to do the Superman 3 thing.
They're doing it already. They're already trying to figure it out.
I'm telling you. They're going to do it.
One of the other games I played this afternoon, I played Towerborn. I went back to Towerborn because it's it's a good game, and it officially launched. Like, it's out of early access.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it actually launched?
Yeah, it actually launched. And they completely changed the business model, because before it was a free-to-play game that it was supposed to be a free-to-play game. You got in on early access, you paid $25 or whatever. Now it's a paid game. No microtransactions. All the microtransactions that were going to be in the game are now just in the game. So you earn all the stuff inside the game by just playing the game.
I like how all these different dev teams now are be like, maybe it's not a good idea that we put the microtransactions in there.
Yeah. But this is why I think it's not the devs. The devs are like, we just want to make a game. And the corporation's like, so you think you could
squeeze
put a
that in?
microtransaction? You just put a little bit of microtransaction, and they're like, yeah. So it'll cost $20 for this package. No, seriously. So they had sort of like what the war bonds were inside of like Helldivers. Inside of Towerborn, there's like these war bonds that you got. So if you paid the $25 or $20 or $25 for the deluxe edition, they gave you the currency to buy off the stuff in the thing, right? So that was like, you got the cosmetics because you paid for the thing. So whatever. You get to keep that when the game comes out. So I uploaded the game, kept my characters. You could start a new character. But I was like, what are they going to do with all the cosmetics? So I went in and I went to look at the cosmetics, and they're like 2,100 of the wits, I think they're called, inside the actual game. And I'm like, oh, so I'm just playing the game now. So now they have all the stuff that was microtransactions are just in the game. And as you play the game, you just unlock the currency. They have like bounties and stuff that you do in the game, which before were weekly only.
That's correct.
Now
FOMO.
it's just
FOMO.
now it's
FOMO. Yeah.
You can do them as much as you want, go on missions as much as you want, get the wits, and then go purchase the outfits that you want. And I'm like, how is this so hard? Like, this is it. It's actually a really fun game. It's a beat 'em up. It's a side scroller beat 'em up type of thing. Okay, great combat, great mechanics. Cool outfits and stuff like that. Cool weapons. 4 classes. I don't know if they're going to add more classes. They said a while ago they were going to add classes down the road.
Yeah, let's not get excited.
But I think because now they didn't,
You're lucky they got rid of the microtransactions.
Yeah. So fun game. Full story now. Because the game's done. There's a complete story. They have cutscenes, voice acting in the cutscenes, but then no voice acting while you're playing, which is fine. I'm okay reading and smashing A to skip, next match, right? I'm okay with that. Yeah, calm your tits, 30. I know. You don't want to. They're not going to add something else. But point is, fun game. It was a fun game when I played it a year and a half ago. It's out now. So if you like those kind of beam up type of games, Towerborn's a good game. And if you buy it, it's a complete game. It's an actual
fascinating,
full-fledged.
How much is the game?
I don't know because I paid, so I can't look it up. I can look it up here. Unless chat knows.
Is it a 40? Is it a 50?
I paid 2025 when it came out, so I'm not really too sure. Towerborn.
You paid 2025, or you paid for the game in 2025?
No, I paid $25 because it was a early founders pack type of shit.
Got it. I thought you were screaming out the year, not that dollar amount.
Yeah, no. What's the price? Either 29 or 34. Okay, Towerborn.
Yeah, that's if you get rid of the pennies.
Price on Steam, it's $25, $24.99. So it's the same price. Yeah, it's $24.99 or $29.99.
Yep.
So there you go. So it's an actual full-fledged game.
Made a game, sold a game. Very good. Proud of them.
It took them a year to figure out maybe we should just put everything in the game. It's crazy.
I mean, you know what it is though? It's not even that. I don't really blame the devs because they have to do what mom tells them to do, right? Whatever mom tells them, they're gonna have to do it. But it's like having the little guy on your shoulder, but there's no other guy. It's just this guy going, put it in, put it in, charge him $1, put it in, put this in, put the FOMO in, put that in. Like, and you're going, can I just put the game? Can I build the game?
Just make the game? Yeah.
Put that mechanic in. Make them think they're gonna miss it. Put the FOMO in. Put the MTX in. Put the battle pass in. Put like it's every time they're doing something like they're trying to make a guy look cool jumping over. Like, yeah. When he does that, put a thing in, he gets extra boots. Put that in. Jumps higher. Like, the fuck out of my face.
Yeah. So
just get out of here.
Oh, we played last week after we got off stream. We played Toxic Commando. You want to talk about that a little bit?
It was fun.
Okay,
was
that's
fun.
it. That's all we're gonna
It
say
was
about
fun.
Toxic Commando.
Right? There's no hiding. There's no well, at least on the level that we played, there's no hiding and there's no choke points because the goo on the ground.
Yeah.
They can just come out of the goo whenever they feel like it. Like they don't just come out of an area; they just spawn in the goo.
Yeah.
Right. The controls were a little wonky. I couldn't get off of like a upper cliff area when I was trying to jump down off a cliff, but other areas yes. So it was a little wonky. Once again, demo doesn't matter. I felt like the camera's a little too tight. I think you needed the camera.
I think Saber likes doing that where they're like you're like up on the thing, like Space Marines,
the field of view
Commando.
The field of view is a little tight. I think just needs to pull back just a little bit to see a little bit more. It was a little bit more tunnel vision than I think it is necessary. Especially
I thought the guns felt really good.
The guns were good.
The sound design's very good on the guns, so all the guns sounded different.
No, they sounded like the guns are supposed to sound like.
Yeah, they sound like
not
the actual,
not
the
like well, that, yeah. Not the token gun noise that you could get from any download.
No. Like it sounded like they like recorded actual gunfire, then put it in the game and got the actual.
Well, I'm not going to say that because I don't want to be wrong. After someone says all the sound effects were AI. Like that's what I'm.
If they were, they sound like real guns.
It was good AI.
It was good AI.
Yeah.
What did you think about the special abilities?
Well, I only got to have the one ability.
Yeah, I did too. Mine was the shooting the bolts of electricity.
But if I scale my powers with what I'm going to be fighting, then that game is probably very, very difficult after the midway point, because the powers that I looked at make you pretty much death dealer. And so in order to counter that, you have to fight crazy stuff to offset your abilities. Right? So
I didn't really use my ability.
No, but you have to factor it in. You have to factor in what ability do I have? What does it do?
As you go up in difficulty.
Yeah, because otherwise you'd be walking over stuff by level 10, you'd be just crushing through stuff because some of those abilities were just nuts, like the drone and running around. My healing ability anywhere. I'm in a car, I heal you. Right. And it was a temporary heal, and then like the level above it was permanent heal. So like every 2.5 minutes I can just press it.
You just find the ambulance. Yeah, you find the ambulance though, and then you get healed by just sitting inside the ambulance.
Well, that's just on that level though. I'm saying I'm the walking ambulance.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see more weapon variety. Like I want to see some swords, and I want to see a flamethrower, and I want to see some other things. I mean,
the melee actually felt pretty good when I was meleeing people.
Once again, I'm playing mouse and keyboard, so it's a little. It was how do I guess I can remap the keys, but it felt like the melee attack felt sluggish. It didn't feel like that I was actually like hitting when I pressed the button. It was more like the guy's taking a deep breath before he. He does the melee. You know what I mean? Instead of it being like I'm hitting the guy, it's like
oh yeah. Like, when you hit it, yeah, it's like
right. It's right. It's not like it's like a quick.
That's the pushback. The actual melee. Did you use an axe or a machete or anything?
No, I just have the gun out.
Oh yeah. That's the pushback. So the pushback is if the melee is you're just swinging. But you have a stamina, so you can't swing too long because then you get tired. And you get overwhelmed.
Oh, so you're saying the gun's not really a melee attack; it's more of a
that's just a pushback. Yeah. So, I thought the open-esque world was pretty good. Like the more you went around and the more that you did, the more of those crystals you collected.
You have to collect the crystals for sure.
Well, that's how you upgrade your gear,
right?
That's how you get the cosmetics and stuff.
Well, but that puts it against the. I didn't have the fear of the zombies in this game like I had for other games. Like other games I play, I fear the zombies. Like I have to do something. I'm afraid I'm going to die and not be able to complete it. In this game, I didn't. That way. I didn't feel like worried about the zombies. I was more into like what part of the level haven't we gone yet? Let's go there to look for more of the crystals and things. Yeah. You don't feel the sense of urgency. Like when I played Left 4 Dead. Or any other zombie game, even State of Decay, you feel like a sense of urgency when you're doing things. Like you have a certain amount of time or a certain, and then that's it. Like in this one, you're just kind of cruising around. You don't really.
It took me a long time to figure out where the gears, like how to get the gears. You found out after I found out, and you're like, hey, it just says it on the map. I didn't even look at the map. Every time those little tentacles came out of the ground, if you killed one of those, you would get one of the gears, and use the gears to unlock a,
The
a
spare
gun.
parts to
The spare
open up
parts.
certain things.
Yeah.
But you needed
Open
a lot
up-
of spare parts in order
Yeah,
to
a
get some
lot
of
of
the,
spare parts.
yeah, to use like the turreted weapon, to use the electric
Right. So
field,
basically
the
what you want to do
defensive
is
things,
you want to
farm.
clear the entire board. You could go to the end and just do the mission.
Which it
And
would
that-
be really, it would be much harder.
Right. And you wouldn't get as much
The-
resources and stuff.
Right. The crescendo part of the mission would be 10 times harder if you didn't farm the map, for sure. If that carries over to the other maps,
Which
like
then,
you have to farm the map.
Right, which then goes into the fact of this game is really grindy, right? Very grindy. And again, Space Marines is grindy, right?
But not that grindy.
Well, this one's going to be grindy because you could tell because Toxic Commando, if you just clear the map and leave, you're just going to get rewarded the amount of money or XP or whatever it is for that board.
You got to farm it.
But you have to get all those crystals and go all the stuff. And you want to get the gears. Because if you get the gears, then you can unlock the chest. And unlock the chest, then you can get the weapons. And if you get those weapons, you upgrade those weapons. Like there's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, but it's not a cumulative collection for the team. If I pick up a crystal, you're not getting the crystal.
Oh, so see, I thought it was for the whole group.
No, because your number was different than
sure?
my number. Yeah, your number was different than my number all the time. The entire time we were playing.
Well, that's the case. So that's even worse then.
It is because people be fighting to get the crystals.
Yes. Yeah. People be fighting to get the crystals. And then here's the thing, though. The cosmetics that I saw, again, demo. I don't know if they're going to have different when the game comes out.
Or if the crystals are going to be cumulative.
Right. But there was no reason for me to unlock any of the cosmetics. The cosmetics for the characters, the best way I can describe it is like Suicide Squad, where like you're wearing like a black t-shirt and then all of a sudden you're wearing a white t-shirt and the exact same thing. You know what I mean? There's like minimal viable of the actual like your cosmetics. Then you have the cosmetics for the weapons, right? And it's like, is that enough of a grind for someone to play the game? Do you know what I mean? Like, is that enough for the grind?
It's not.
For people?
It's not supposed to be.
But that's the incentive.
Yeah, but it doesn't. It shouldn't have to be. The idea would be to level up the character with the abilities, just like you do in Space Marine 2, or just like you do in any other game like this, where you level up the abilities and see if you can complete the missions on a harder difficulty. That's the whole point. To see if you can be the ultimate badass. That's the whole point of the game. I don't need to have cosmetics and this other crap in order to go along with it.
I understand that.
They're just putting it in there in case you feel like it.
Yeah, but they're so bad. They're not good.
I'm aware, but it's what this guy said.
At least though, at least I can't tell. It didn't seem like there was a microtransaction store in the game. I couldn't find one. And then all the cosmetics that were there were earned with inside the game itself.
I mean, I give everything a chance. I let the game speak for itself, right? It's probably going to be a decent price point.
Yeah, it's $40. It's a $40 game.
Right. So if it lasts as long as a Left 4 Dead does, and it's worth it. It's just fun.
Water Bear says buy or wait.
I'll be honest with you. I can't tell from the demo. There was only 2 missions in the demo, and I don't think the 2 missions did it justice. They just gave you like the basics of what's going on. So like
just enough, just a sample.
I would the way I would do this. I will watch somebody play through the game and see if what I think is possible that there's the other events that happen in the game that give it its movie quality. Like a standoff thing, a giant guy. You know what I mean? Like part of the story.
Yeah, no.
Part of the story that gives you a reason why you want to play it again, right? Or a difficult boss or something.
I would say, Water, there's 2 things. If you're a person that doesn't have a game, you're not getting Marathon for $40. You're not getting Arc Raiders for $40. You're not getting Crimson Desert for $70. You have $40 in your hand, right? You're like, okay, that's why.
And it's burning you.
It's burning. You have to spend it. If you have 4 friends, or you like playing with randos online,
right? Or you have 4 people that'll tolerate you,
right? If you have 4 people that are gonna like a group of people, I think it's a 100% buy. I think you're gonna have a fun time playing it. You'll grind it for like 3-4 days straight. You'll upgrade stuff, and then you'll come back every once in a while when you want to just shoot, just hang out and shoot stuff. So I think it's worth the one. I think the price point's good. I do think the price point's good for $40.
I wouldn't be surprised if Saber told you get 10% off if you bought one of their other games. They just keep doing that shit.
They did.
They did? They did do that?
They did do that. They said if you already own Space Marines, they'll give you another $10 off.
No, they didn't do that. Did they really?
They did on Steam, yeah.
See, this is old school. It's an old school company.
Yeah.
I didn't think they were going to do something like that. That's why I said it. They're not going to do that.
I'm debating.
They won't do that.
Because I'll be honest with you, I'm really interested in Crimson Desert. I'm still waiting to see Crimson Desert's reviews and what's going on with it, but I'm interested in that game, and that's $70. If something goes wrong with Crimson Desert, and that's a time-consuming game. That's hundreds of hours in that game. Okay, easy. Okay, Toxic Commando is a $40 purchase. We play on Wednesday nights, and then every Wednesday, and then we stop playing for a couple months, come back to it. Crimson Desert's a game I'm going to be playing, and I'm going to be playing it for the next 100 to 200 hours. So,
yeah, but
3 weeks,
I'm
6
hoping,
weeks.
but I'm really hoping that Crimson Desert isn't like, oh, I found the double-weighted bastard sword, and it's do I have to sharpen this or get a different hilt, or do I have to sharpen
there is
the blade?
customization and upgrades for stuff. Yeah,
I get it, but if it bogs down to like all this stuff before I actually get into the meat of the game, I will lose my mind. You understand? If they overdo all the details of the stuff, and the stuff keeps you from actually playing the game because you're doing analysis paralysis the whole time, deciding on what you're gonna wear, what weapon you're gonna use because you got to test it out, as opposed to just going in the game and seeing what works. You know what I mean? I can't. I like the realism, but I don't want it to go so overboard that you're just staring at the screen. You know, I see that already in the Space Marine too. Like certain weapons, I'm like looking at it, like, do I want this weapon or that weapon? Should I use this one? Should I unlock that one? And meanwhile, the guys are waiting on the pad, waiting for you, but you're still trying to dress yourself. It's the male version, version of Barbie dress up. We put this gun, this pauldron, and they could wear the mask, put the thing on the side, and the dude's going, "Hurry up!" I see the typing. Hurry up! Like, let's go. And then they just leave. Right? You don't need all that shit. Just get in the game.
Yeah. Gravity says, imagine Crimson Desert has BDO's upgrade system, that there's a chance to upgrade items. Yeah, I think they actually said it in the VOD 2 that you can go to a merchant and you can upgrade weapons, and you can also purchase weapons from them. I'm pretty sure they said that.
I'm willing to see the amount that this game will entail. Let's see.
Let's
see what it does.
So if someone's looking for a game though, and you like a zombie shooter, there's plenty of zombie games out there. But this one, I don't think it'll be as fun solo. If you play with a group of friends, I think it's a must have. It's a good time. I think it'll be a good time. So,
sure. Yes.
$40. Yeah. Another game I'm playing, but we're gonna go into the top stories, and then I'll talk about it because it's a story as well. So let's go to top stories.
Start throwing hand grenades.
I don't know if you know this, but we went from my morning show. I'm not sure about this show, but my channel, people are starting to watch more on television sets than, right? So it used to be at 7%. People were watching on TV. Then it jumped to 13%. We just crossed over 20% of the people that watch my content are watching on their screen TVs. So our heads right now are gigantic on 20%.
How's my complexion look?
Yeah, looks lovely. Okay, so I just wanted to put that out there. So
I exfoliate. Want to make sure.
Oh, and real fast, chat. We're quick here. I try to do stuff. I'm gonna try to do this more throughout the year. Okay, because of the story. You know what? I want to put a pin in that. And we'll talk about that in a second.
Put a pin in what? I don't know what the hell you're saying.
I'm gonna put a pin in it. We're gonna talk about this one first, which is Star Wars Galaxies. This is another game I was playing. Okay, I went back into Star Wars Galaxies, right? 15 years after it was
you actually played for over an hour.
I played like 4 or 5 hours now. Yes.
Okay.
Right. 15 years later, after I shut down, Star Wars Galaxies is still getting a massive update thanks to Restoration Project, like a Helldiver style galactic civil war. So what these people have done in this private server, Sarge, is they've brought back what you loved about Star Wars Galaxies. You can't become a Jedi. You have to earn to become a Jedi, right? You go up the same skill trees that we had when the game first originally launched.
We have to be chosen, right? You don't
What
just
they've
get it.
done,
Yeah.
right? But what they've done is they've now taken things where there's like PvP battles and there's PvE battles, and when stuff happens on the map, it actually changes the landscape of the actual planet. Not like the planet's not blowing up or anything like that, but so if a battle went off and a Star Destroyer falls down, it's there. That's how it stays after the war. And then down the road, there'll be another war that happens. So what you do in the actual game, and again, this is not supported by Sony Entertainment. This is not Lucasfilm. This is none of this. This is people
Black market
decided
people. Yeah.
right, fans of the game that wanted to keep it alive. And there's shaders that you could put on and makes the game look better. It runs better. I got it where I'm running it at the widescreen format now. I'm running around. I'm just a smuggler, or I haven't even became a smuggler yet.
I mean, it looked good back then, but it looks dated. Do they have
it is dated, but there is ways to make it non-dated. But man, is it
Well,
fun.
can you make it look better than Starfield?
No, but you can make it look better. You can
Okay.
make it look better, right? I was like, how many people are playing this? So I'm in Tatooine because you do the tutorial. You get dropped off in Tatooine.
Yeah.
And then you go to Tatooine, you take this, there's this one guy that's giving you all like the tour around stuff. Like you can get a land speeder pretty fast if you go do a mission or whatnot. You go to the cantina and I'm like, there's people walking around. You're like, okay, cool. Now there's still NPCs walking around, and then there are people walking around, just like the old game. Okay. And then you walk into the cantina and the fucking place is packed. There's just like this, just you
names.
can't see the names. I'm like, what the hell? There's this many people playing this?
Yeah, but you remember that all you had to do as a entertainer was just sit in the cantina and spam.
Yeah, there's people back there.
You could go to work.
Yeah, there's people back there.
You could spam your keyboard and just go to work and let your guy
behind the
be
bar. People are making drinks. Entertainers, people are playing music. Guys and the doctors like, hey, who needs heals? And they're getting buffs and stuff. And that's what I loved about Star Wars Galaxies, because they made a profession, and you're like, who wants to be an entertainer? But the entertainer's job was to buff.
Well, because
so you would come to the cantina, chat with people, say, hey, do you want to go on a mission with me?
Yes.
And then
the
you would
bar,
go do a mission.
Right. The bar was actually a bar. The bars actually became the social hub, because when you got to end game content or even mid game content, you had to be buffed in order for you to survive.
Right.
Right. And so it's like a financial economy. This one's more of a leveling economy, where like I might be my level is my level in the gun, if I remember correctly, but it's not like I don't change my physical appearance. Like I'm not going to get more hit points. So if I have like 300 hit points and I have to get the buff gives me 450 hit points, right? Like that kind of thing.
Right.
And so you have to hang out in the bar. You have to talk to somebody. So I get the buff from the doctor. I get the buff from the entertainer. And then we meet up with a bunch of people. Then we go to wherever we're going to go. And the buff would last like an hour.
Right.
Right. So you would have to.
What level, right. All depending on what level they are and stuff like that when you get the buff.
Right. How good level they were. Exactly. So it is interesting to make a game where you have to interact with the other people because they give you the bonuses. And I think there were some other classes that also gave you bonuses. If you hung out with them, they gave you like accuracy bonus or regeneration bonuses. Like if you were with a medic, it was more of a synergy type of thing with different classes as opposed to just 4 guys hanging out. Right.
Another cool part is they, again, I don't want to describe the game because the game is still the same game. It is what it is. Well,
can you still? I remember that there are certain cities on like the planets, but if you knew where the NPC soldiers were in the city, you had to fight them, and if you were able to kill all the soldiers in the city before they respawned,
you take
then the city would change hands over to the rebellion. Is it the same?
Same. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. There's territories that people take over and who controls what. If you're on the rebel and you're in an empire's, imperial city, you know what I mean? Like they
can you still make your own bases? Can you make your own?
You can still make your own bases. There's still the politicians that you can make.
Because I remember the strategy when we were the Empire. I remember that your base would look like I guess like maybe like an
They're like
M.
huts. Yeah, they're like
No,
huts.
no,
and then they
like
would turn
like
into
like if you looked at it from above, it was like it's like a huge thing. Like so, the base would look like this, like a U, right? And the door would be over here, and so the guys would hang out outside. So what we used to do is we used to build multiple bases facing each other,
Yeah.
like this, right? And we put them all together on purpose because once you aggroed a guy and they were in the vicinity, they would all aggro. So it made it harder for you to
Yeah.
kill the base because if you killed the bases, then you could also change the planet over. So we were finding ways to make it like fortify the planets with these crazy ass bases.
the coolest part about this, okay? They made it super easy. Before you needed a copy of the game, right? You needed an original copy of the game to play
Now
this.
what?
They have their own
some
launcher.
black market guy just sends you some files.
Nope, they have their own launcher. You just download the launcher. You go to their website. You download the launcher, and boom, you're in. Okay, you make an
And
account.
boom, there goes my bank account.
Yeah,
It's
there
like
goes-
more like what that is.
Right, and you just jump in.
You're being serious?
I'm being. That's the only reason I haven't been playing this entire time over years. When I knew it was alive, I was like, I can't find my copy of Galaxies, and I didn't want to go find one. Now the launcher, you just download it from their website, and you can jump in and start playing.
Interesting.
Right, super easy, barely an inconvenience. Okay, and here's what I love about it. Right, because Brain Eclipse said that I can't do another MMO right now. He's like,
Right,
I put 2 hours in, but man, I can't start another MMO right now.
Exactly.
This is what I loved about Galaxies. Because even when I was in school at the time when Galaxies was out, I would be an entertainer or I would be a bartender and I would still be getting levels, but it was casual MMO at its finest back then. Because if I didn't want to go on raids and I didn't want to go on stuff, I could enter the game for a half hour, 45 minutes, sit in a bar, chat with people, buff people, get XP, level up my character, and then when I'm back on it, I can actually play. So it's like a slow,
very convenient.
Yeah, it's a very slow burn type of MMO. Obviously, if you want to jump in and put in 40-hour clock in days and whatever, you can.
Can you?
The farther you go deeper in this game, the more involved you get with the community. You know what I'm saying?
So does it work the same where when you're a bounty hunter and you level up past, I think it was 20, that you start getting bounties to hunt down Jedi?
Yes.
It's still the same?
It's the exact game that it was back then.
That because I always thought that was fascinating. Like if you were a bounty hunter, if you were a bounty hunter,
run jobs in space. I could just go do.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But when you were the bounty hunter, when you reach a certain level, you would start getting names of guys who were Jedi,
right? Who actually were Jedi on the server,
and so you had to actually find them. Like you couldn't just. It wasn't like.
There wasn't a marker on the map saying here they are. Yeah, no, it wasn't.
So you'd have to ask around. You'd have to go to bars in different areas and go, "Hey, has anyone seen so and so?" Or go to the machine, and if
have you heard of this person? Yes,
right. If you access the machine, it would say he accessed the machine on this planet, and so now you're on the planet, and so the bounty hunter would actually be looking around for this dude, and then when he would find him, it'd be like a 45-minute slugfest trying to kill each other.
Do you remember? It was like. Well, I remember, I think it was like 9 weeks, maybe a little longer. We were in a town, and then all of a sudden, you're walking around, you hear, and we're like, oh shit, like, there's a Jedi. Because nobody knew how to become a Jedi.
That's correct. So they were rare. Right. And then everyone's running around with lightsabers. That's how it used to be.
Right.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you hear, and then you're like, oh my God, there's a Sith. And they're like fighting in the middle of the city. And you're like, this is fucking badass. Right. And there was no Jedi, 0 Jedi for weeks and months because nobody knew how to become a Jedi.
Right. Well, that was part of the mystique. And not only was it you didn't know how to become a Jedi, but when you finally figured it out, as you're going through the Jedi tree, you would decide at some point whether or not you were going to be Sith or good.
Right.
So it makes it even rarer. It's like, so if you're a Jedi, but like you're even like if you saw a full-blown Sith guy at max level, there's like 1, maybe 2. You know what I mean?
Until the big purge where everyone was a Jedi from the start.
Well, but that's what I liked about the whole system where bounty hunters were going after Jedi. Because sometimes when you were the bad guys, if someone saw that you were a Jedi fighting a guy, that they'd all dogpile on the Jedi. That was the whole thing.
I think it's funny, though, that you could be a politician and you just go up the ranks of politician and own a town and run a city, right? Like
you could be a politician. Yeah. And you can make your own town, make it out in the middle of the desert someplace.
Okay, make your own cantina that people
Yep.
show up and everything
Yep.
like that, and charge. Yeah,
Some guys would make their town like right near like a special spot for farming or a special boss guy that you would fight.
right. Get
So
your
that
buffs.
people
Yeah, get your
wouldn't have to
buffs,
go
and then
so
yep.
far to buff. Right.
Yep.
Yep. Then listen, it was very technical and very detailed, and at least the synergies in the economy worked. Because the thing I liked that was most interesting was the fact that everybody could only get basic weapons, right? But if you found a guy that's been nothing but grinding and learning how to make weapons, then you want to buy the gun from him. And this is the one thing that I thought broke the game. At the same time, it made it special. So if I'm level 10 as a character, but I can find a level 20 gun, right?
That was made by me.
That was made by somebody. It wasn't an NPC, because the NPCs only sell you the guns at your level. But if you find a guy who sells the gun that's higher than yours, you have to afford it.
Yep.
Right? You have to be able to afford it because it's a more expensive gun.
And then it would put your name on the bottom of it, so you knew
you knew it was yours. It was marked to you, and then you would then have the ability to fight things that were stronger than you, even though your hit points were lower. So you could actually have a chance to go up a little quicker for the XP because you'd be using a better weapon, but just using like more med packs,
right?
Or like trying to hide behind things.
So you're
trying to get
not only are you competing as a craftsman, but if you're a master craftsman, then people are coming to you and you're making good.
Right,
good,
they want your guns.
Yeah, they want your guns and your armor and stuff like that.
But if I remember correctly, there was a level discrepancy on purpose, because otherwise you would just get a loan from your buddy and go buy the best gun possible.
No, but you still had to get but you still had to go up points and get to a certain point before you could go up to the next level.
But there was like a 5-level gap that if I was there, I have to buy from this guy first and level up from there. Then I could get the next level up. It was like 5 levels. I think the window's like 5 levels.
Yeah. So if I was a master craftsman and I made lower end gear, you could only get the lower tier gear, even though it was higher than you. It was the lower. You couldn't jump up to the highest gun that I've created.
You couldn't get the highest one.
Yeah.
But you could go up within the 5 levels.
Correct.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, the bazaar's still there. That's still there. I haven't done the spaceport yet. I've just been on Tatooine the entire time, just leveling up, going around.
Well, you could also make a living just buying and selling shit on whatever
the bazaar,
whatever the market was called.
Yeah, the bazaar. Yeah.
Right. You could just buy everything of one type, resell it, put it back on there. Like just people are doing that as a job, looking for discrepancies in the market and just buying up all the cheap shit, repricing it and throwing it on.
Such a good time back in the day, and now I'm nostalgically living back in the. I'm like, this is amazing. I'll be honest. 5 hours, 3 of them have been like, this is amazing. Wow, they're still doing this. I'm just like walking around like I'm in Disney World, just looking at shit. I'm like, oh my god, this is so cool, right? Like that's what I'm doing most of the time.
It's because your member berries are still firing.
I have not chose a side yet, Aku. I have not chose a side.
There's only one side, Aku. It's only one side.
All right. Next story we're talking about is Discord. Okay. Discord right now. Look, this is super hard for a lot of people. There's a ton of people leaving, and I don't blame them. Right. I'm not jumping the gun yet. I'm waiting to see what happens with this, because before this article came out, Discord was saying that everybody on Discord has to show us ID. Okay. Everyone has to show us ID. And if you don't show us ID, you basically can't use Discord. Right. And everyone's like, I'm sorry, what? And everyone's like, I'm out. We're not doing this. Okay. So getting global age assurance right, what we got wrong and what's changing. Okay. So he goes into this whole thing of like, we understand that we fucked up, and right. So it says, so we announced our plans for global age assurance. We saw the reaction from the community and didn't just read it as a CTO. I read it as someone who also uses Discord every single day. And what I talk about directly, what we're doing is why we're doing it and what we're changing based on your feedback. It says where we missed the mark. Okay. And this should just take Discord out of this conversation for a second. And what he says here, every corporation should just listen to what he's saying, even though it's all bullshit. You just got to listen to it, because he finally realizes that, oh, maybe we fucked up here. Right. It says, let me be upfront. We knew this rollout was going to be controversial. Then why'd you do it? Right. Anytime we introduce something that touches identity or verification, people are going to have strong feelings, rightfully so. In hindsight, we should have provided more detail about the intentions and how the process works. You think? You think you should have came out and said, hey, I know you've been using this program for 10 years, but now we need ID. We need your papers, please. Right? It's like, I didn't sign up for this, right? People didn't want to sign up for Sony when Helldivers came out.
I didn't want
Right?
to sign up for Sony when Sony
Yeah.
first started. What are you
Yeah, I was
talking
gonna say,
about? The Helldivers.
They didn't want to give
When
information to it.
Sony
They're like,
Online Entertainment started, I was like, I'm not giving you anything.
So it says, this is where we landed, and many have walked away thinking we required face scan and ID uploads from everyone just to use Discord, because that's what you said. That's not what's happening. But the fact that so many people believe it tells me that we failed at the most basic job, clarity,
Communication,
explaining what we're doing and
communication.
why, and that's on us, right? So on top of that, many of us are worried that this is also just another big tech company finding new ways to collect your personal data. Well, it is. That we're creating a problem to justify invasion solutions and get that skepticism. It's earned not just towards us, but towards the entire tech industry. But that's not what we're doing.
It is.
Sure. Yeah.
It is.
Asking, it says you take your word for it is realistic. And we know that. So let us try again, plainly to explain what we're actually trying to accomplish. Okay. So what they're trying to accomplish, Sarge, is that, and I said this when I first came out, I said, why do they need my ID? I was like, if I've been on Discord for 10 years.
I already know where this is going to go. I haven't read this article yet. I already know where this is going to go. And my answer is going to be, we don't need you.
Right. So 10 years ago, I started Discord. So if I was 10, let's just say I was 10, right?
And you were degenerate.
Technically, you're not allowed to use it at 10. You got to be 13. So great. 13. So I'm 13 years old and I've been on it for 10 years. Let's do a quick math. I'm 23 now, right? Yeah. I don't need to give you ID because obviously, based on your own rules, I was 13 and now I'm 23. So I don't need to show you anything, right? This is what I said weeks ago when they first brought this up. Well, this is what they're doing. They're like, you don't need to show us anything. 90%. They say 90% of all people, for 90% of users, nothing changes, right? Most users never access age-restricted content or change for difficult safety things or settings. For those who do, we have an internal system that works accurately to determine your age. Discord already runs safety systems that can catch spam, rings, private raids, and detect coordinated abuse, powered by our rules and engine, which we just open sourced on Osprey, okay, and other platforms. Age determination works in the same way, using the same categories and account level signals and how long your account has existed. Yeah. How does just some random person that has a YouTube channel know this, but Discord couldn't speak these words originally when they first came out with this stuff, right? They could have just said anybody that's over the age of already, we don't need your ID. What they're trying to do is stop the people that are underage, like my son that's 11, to get on Discord to try to use Discord, right?
Let me ask you. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No.
I was saying,
I'm gonna let you finish.
But at this point, why is Discord getting involved in that? Because if I'm the parent and I decide that my 11-year-old or 13-year-old or 15-year-old can use it, then that's on me, the parent. Now, if you're not a parent, meaning you are a parent, but you're not a parent because you don't give a shit what your kids do, well, then I don't see a problem with that either, because they're not hovering over them, seeing what they're doing. So if they're worried about porn, like on the Discord,
you don't need to go to Discord.
Right, you don't need to go to Discord to get porn.
This is why their argument, all this nice corpo speak, their argument falls flat, because if you were really concerned that you were trying to stop kids from looking at porn, right, this wouldn't be it. Anybody can go look for porn without Discord. We don't need Discord to look at porn. So if that's your stance on the reason why you're doing it, it isn't. We know why you're doing it, because you want to start the database. At some point, you have to start your database. So you can pick, okay, and they say it in the actual paragraph, right? They're telling you that the things that they use can identify how old you are, not only by the fact that how long you've had your account, but the rooms you hang out in, the vocabulary that you
things
speak,
that you talk about,
the things that you talk about initializes an age. So if they can do all those things, then they're already farming you for data.
Correct.
It's already there. So now all they're saying is, well, we got to make sure all those other stuff's going on. And one more thing, this thing over here that we have to add on as well. Like, no. The answer is no.
Wolverine, you're absolutely correct. There's a bunch of creepos out there, PDF files out there that are in Minecraft and Roadblocks and all these other things, socializing with people, right? Are they going to ask my son for his ID to play Minecraft? Are they going to ask people's ID for Roadblocks? My point is that if you're a parent, be present in your kid's life. If you want your kid to be online, then you as the adult, not you personally, Wolverine, but as a parent, have to parent your children up to a certain age until they're allowed to have their own account for things. So if they're on Discord and they're under the age of 13, you probably should be like, hey, you shouldn't use that. And if they're over 13, there should be parameters that you set as the adult that made the account for your child to say, you're allowed to access this, you're allowed to access that, you're allowed to access this, right? That's what parents should do. Discord should not be doing this. Government should not be involving themselves in certain aspects as well with some of these things, right? There's a broad line of, when we were kids, we could do anything, right? Gen Xers could do anything. Your parents didn't know where you were, right? As long as you came home,
phone.
right? No cell phone, no nothing. You walk through the door when the sun went down. You open the door. You look, 2 arms, 2 legs, 10 fingers, 10 toes. Great. All right. That's it. It's like, do your shit. No one worried, right? We used to look at porn magazines. Used to throw toilet paper, BB gun fights, play at construction sites, do all these things. I apologize for nothing. Because of us in Gen X is the reason that there's all these rules and signs and don't do this and don't do that and stay off the thing and no soliciting.
Helicopter bombs.
It's all because of us back then is what it is now, right? So they
here's the other point, because I know what Wolverine's going, what he's talking about. So let's just say, for instance, there's a bunch of pedos on Roblox, which there is.
Yes.
Right. So if I'm talking in a chat room and I find out someone's asking me questions I don't like asking, there should just be a thing, automatic flag, copy name, sent name to Discord's security people. Like, watch this guy. He's asking questions to people that are not necessarily to be asking towards people. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's not hard to identify people when all they want to do is talk to little kids. You can find them, right? Because they can't help themselves. This isn't like some kind of CIA op where you don't know where these fucking guys are. As a matter of fact, I would much rather find their name, go into the account, find out where they are, and get rid of them. Put them in jail. Period. You can't tell me it's like this walled off garden. Everyone's in Roblox and a bunch of guys are talking to kids and no one knows about it.
Right. It's all being monitored.
Right? It's all monitored. You just said in your paragraph, you're monitoring every fucking thing that
Discord.
we do.
Yeah, that's Discord. Yeah.
Right? If you're monitoring it, then you would know what they're saying. What the fuck do I need the ID for? Just identify them by what they're talking about.
I had fun.
I don't understand.
Underage.
I don't understand how in one line you're screaming protection, but on the other end, we all know what you're doing. You want a concentrated effort of data collection so you can sell it. Otherwise, how are you making money? How are you growing as a company if we're just a site where people get to talk to each other? We run some ads on the side, he, and that's it. You think that's how you're running a business? We know that's not how you're running a business.
But here's the best part, right? If you want to stop a kid from, right, we used to make fake IDs when we were kids to get liquor from a liquor store. You don't think they're going to make fake IDs so they can get on Discord? Do you know what I mean? Like, here, you take a picture, you hold a face up to the camera, and then they're like, oh, thank you for your face, right? They just pick a random person they just created off AI and say, hi, this is me. And they're like, okay, thank you, Kevin of 28 years old of Oklahoma. We're not saving your data. And then all of a sudden, Kevin from Oklahoma starts getting emails to his thing. And you're like, wait a minute, I thought you didn't sell my data.
Dallas,
right.
Insurance. Want to buy a fridge. Like, it never ends, bro. It never ends. And the worst part about the whole data collection thing is they're lying to each other about exposure to the actual advertisement, right? Because even in Twitch or Kick and YouTube, everyone's got bots. So you're paying money for advertisement, and you say, well, this thing's been seen so many 100 million times, so we're going to charge you this amount of money for the advertisement. Are they still doing this shit? Are they still trying to explain to people that they're just unlimited people watching all the time? Like an average person, they're going to go, this person watches 68 hours. Like, does he work? Does he sleep? Does he shit? Like, there's no way that this person is watching that many ads, that you're selling this much money to these people to cover for the advertisement. It's fucking nonsense after a while, bro. What are you trying to sell me?
Real quick. Aku says, communication disruption could only mean one thing, invasion. Thank you very much for the 37 months of support. Appreciate you, Aku. I don't have the cheering. I don't think we have sound effects over here on this program. Oh wait, here it is. Does this work? There's the
only when their number of actual users goes into the toilet does somebody come out and write an actual worded letter, proper English, spacing, punctuation, and now they're like, I'd like to address everyone in the room now. It's a soft mom voice. Hi, can I have everyone's attention? I'd like to discuss about the interruption that we had. We want to make sure that everyone feels good with each other. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Right? We already know what you're doing. Right?
No, but we're not doing that.
You
right?
only cared because the number must have dropped like a goddamn rock, bro.
A lot of people went to TeamSpeak. A lot of people went to Fluxer.
Like a
lot of people went to just done using it. I know people personally that are like, hey, if you want to reach me, here's where you can reach me. I'm not going to be on Discord anymore. They're completely gone, and I don't blame them. Right? I don't blame them. If I didn't have a community, which we might be moving. I'm waiting to see what happens. And if that's the case, that's the case, right? If we have to move, we move. I have no problem doing that. But there's just people that are just like, I'm done. I don't need this. And you'll just move to the next one. And then when the next one does the exact same thing, you'll move to the next one and so on and so forth, or you just don't use it at all. So they are moving it back to 6 months, they said, to the later half of 2026 before they implement this. But they're trying to clear it up. Like, this is what we're going to do, but we're doing it. We're not doing it now.
What are you going to do different in 6 months?
They're just doing it for the people under 18, not above.
Why
18.
couldn't you do that now?
Well, they're trying to get the word out.
Turbulent water now.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
So we have to wait for all the bullshit to settle down first.
Forget about it.
Yeah.
So when you do it later, you're like, oh, okay, that's not that bad.
It'll be like a unicorn that'll be like, hey kids, we want to know who you are. Like it'll be like a unicorn and a rainbow and a guy and a guy in a dress and a guy in a dress asking you for your ID. It'll be fine.
So that's what's happening with that. What time is it? We're about an hour into the show. Let's go to some Sony news here. Sony announced Wolverine. Marvel Wolverine carves out a release date at last. It's a surprise announcement this morning. Insomniac Games has revealed the release date for Marvel's Wolverine is coming out September 15th, 2026. So a lot of people are excited about it. This comes out post-shared across social media. Insomniac reading. Let's cut to the chase. Marvel's Wolverine launches September 15th, 2026. A 6-second teaser accompanied. We don't need to watch that. So that's it. That's the news from Wolverine. Just 2 months before, supposedly GTA 6 comes out 2 months after that. So this is good, which goes into our next story because Sony. What's happening with Xbox?
What's looking sharp? The release date?
It's Wolverine, sharp claws.
Yeah,
looking sharp.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got it.
That's it. That's what's looking sharp.
Uh-huh.
Where's the other one? Wait, there's one more. Sony. Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. Oh, I gotta find it. Give me 1 second. There's one other story about Sony talking about how they're might be going back to the old school of taking games. Yeah, here it is. So PlayStation may be backing away from putting their traditional single-player games on PC. Now, I don't know where this comes from, right? Because I haven't read the article. The article was submitted earlier today. So I haven't read it yet. It says, over the past few years, plenty of PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 exclusive games have made their way to PC, including tentpole franchises like Last of Us, Marvel Spider-Man, Horizon, and God of War. However, there is a chance that in the future, only PlayStation Live service games will launch on PC. Noted journalist Jason Schreier has suggested traditional single-player experiences may remain on console exclusives for the foreseeable future. Yeah, but that's usually they've lowered that to it was never to 4 years to 2 years to 14 months. I think Spider-Man 2 was 14 months. That was the closest. I think Wolverine even goes faster. I think Wolverine does 12 months to 10 months, and then it'll be on PC, right? It says, speaking of the last episode of the Triple Click podcast, the Bloomberg journalist commented on Sony Entertainment's strategy move forward. He says, I think, quote, I think for them, their strategy is like live service games are coming to PC, but I think the sense of I'm getting their backing away from putting their exclusive console stuff like traditional single player stuff on PC. When the host of Kurt Hellman asked if Sony could truly close that door, future titles like Hypothetical Ghost of Tsushima 3, Schreier pointed out the upcoming Marvel Wolverine game is set to launch on September 15th exclusively for PlayStation 5 with no PC version announced. Yeah, well, obviously they're not going to do that. And the last game they did before that was Spider-Man. It was 14 months. That window is getting smaller and smaller. Look, I've been on record saying I like Sony's business model with this. First-party titles, stay on your platform as long as you can, and then move it out to the other ones. I've always agreed with this. Even though Game Pass does day and date, obviously I'm on Xbox. I'll take it day and date. But obviously it hurts the first-party titles. Third-party titles all day long come out all platforms on the same time. Your first party on your platform, if it's 6 months, if it's 8 months, if it's 10 months. So it says stepping back from PC releases would be a significant shift for Sony. And Schreier isn't convinced that the impact would also be as large as someone would expect.
It would be.
I don't think that that's successful in the first place. So I don't know if it doesn't seem to be going in that big of a blow. Here's a possible that they could put the genie back in the bottle, he said. So what do you think, Sarge? Do you think they reverse the they do a Doctor Strange, they start changing time again and going back where now they wait back to 24 months or 36 months before they put it on PC?
They can't. You have to remember the gaming industry caused their own problem. They're complaining about something that they caused. So we wash our hands of this completely. You can't have Sony to say that all of a sudden now we're going to only release on our consoles that nobody's buying, nobody can afford, and you want to have the same amount of sales that you're going to have. You can't, right? Are you going to fire everybody else and run on a skeleton crew and make a video game? You're going to use AI instead of having 400 people make the game. You only have 150 people make the game.
$400 million for games.
So how do you bring the price down? Because that's the only way this works. You have to bring the price down for making the game in order for you to do this, in order for you to make money. You're already complaining. The last 4 years have all been complaining. We can't sell enough copies to cover the cost of the game. So how is putting the game back on a first party and on your system only and not on PC going to fix it? Explain it to me.
Right. I think Sony, if the consoles weren't $600-700 and they were back to $350, I think this would work. I think they could go back to that point.
You can't.
But they're not, and they won't be. They're going to be $600-700 or whatever it is, and the hardware is going to be harder for even PC players and stuff. So, like Xbox has said, they have to meet where the players are, because I doubt the people that don't own a PlayStation right now, which is 57% of the people on PlayStation themselves own a PlayStation 4. They haven't moved to PlayStation 5, or 56% don't own a PlayStation 5 yet. And then you have other people that don't own a console yet, right? And they're like, okay, I'm ready to buy. Wolverine's coming out. I'm buying Wolverine. Now they have to spend $700 on a PlayStation.
Or they're releasing it on PlayStation 4.
Right. $500, $700. What's the regular standard PlayStation cost?
Or
chat? Is it $550?
Or they're releasing it on PlayStation 4.
Well, no, they're not releasing it. It's only on PlayStation 5.
You're sure?
Okay. That's what they said in the past. I'm not too sure about what they do now. But if Wolverine comes out, it's only on PlayStation 5. That's a hard sale to be like someone that's not a Marvel fan to be like, you know what, that game looks good. How much is it? Oh, it's $70, and you have to buy a $600 system, right? I'll just split down the middle, $500 to $600. Okay, so $600 to go buy that for that one game, and they're like, nah, I'll just wait. There's plenty of other games I can play and wait. Now
I have a PC. I'll just wait a year.
Yeah. Now they wait 10 months, 12 months for it, and they're like, okay, cool. So I don't know if. I do think it's smart for keeping it and keeping that gap of 12 to 14 months still.
But they cause the problem themselves.
Correct. But if I think it's still going to go day and date in the future, even single player games, because that is where, in my vision, the industry is going towards. They're all going towards that instant gratification. The TikTok minded person's like, this is the new video. This is a new video. This is a new video. Like, they want it now. So if people are like, yeah, I don't need to play your new game because there's all these new games coming out on the system that I own, so I don't need to buy that one.
There's no difference in waiting the year from the number of video games that are currently out in the market. Wait the year. The same amount of games are coming out every month. There's a pile of games. Whether I get it this February or next February, there's another pile of games. Right? And the benefits of me waiting, knowing it's coming out on PC, it's going to run better. The bugs are going to be out of it. They're going to update it.
Hopefully.
And then I get a better product. Then I get a better product.
Waterbear says day and date on PC, Wolverine calling it now. Here's the thing. If they come out with Wolverine and let's just say it only sells like 2 million copies. They're going to wish they put it on PC faster but I think it'll sell well because a lot of people want a Wolverine game. A lot of people like Insomniac. I think it sells 5 million, 6 million copies, which is fantastic. We don't know the budget of the game. I'm just calling a number, 5 to 6 million copies sold. And
It's not enough.
The budget. Well, we don't know the budget. But the overall spectrum of 90 million people own a PlayStation and only 5 to 7 million people buy the game, that's not good.
It's not enough?
Yeah.
By their own standards, it's not enough.
We would have to know what the budget is for Wolverine. I don't know what that is. If it's 350, 400, they need to sell way more copies. And if they don't buy them on PlayStation, they need to go to PC because people will buy that game on PC.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. By the way, telling me September 15th is not an automatic.
Well, no, nothing's automatic anymore.
Oh,
yeah.
Thanks for giving me a target. September of this year. Good. I like it.
All right, we're going to go from that to the big story. The big story that happened last Friday, which is basically just Xbox exploded, right? Everyone to the shitter for Xbox, where Phil Spencer was announced because a leak came out by IGN. IGN heard some murmurs going on that Phil Spencer is going to retire or he's fired or whatever. And then they were like, we got to get this out. So on Friday last week, it came out that Phil Spencer's retiring, but on Monday, not on Friday, right? Which are like, well, that's kind of weird. Why would you announce it just 2 days before his retirement and say he's retiring? And then more stuff started coming out, Sarge, where Sarah Bond, who was next in line for Phil's job, just the way it was, all of a sudden she resigns. Okay.
Didn't resign, but okay.
But this is what they've said. They've resigned, right? I obviously don't think they resigned. I think they were pushed out because whatever the reason, we can speculate a shit ton of stuff, but this is what happened. So Phil Spencer, no longer the CEO, and Sarah Bond not replacing him as CEO. Instead, we have these two. We have Asha Sharma and CCO Matt Booty, and Matt Booty has been here. He's, you know what kind of person he is, Sarge, right? He's a right. That's why he's still at the still has his job, because technically he should have been the next one in line, but he was like, I'm cool if Asha takes over. Yeah, just let her do her thing, right? Smart man, just collecting the paycheck, doing his thing, right? So as former Xbox CEO Phil Spencer prepares to exit, he caught up with the incoming CEO Asha Sharma and newly promoted CCO Matt Booty to learn more about the future holds for Microsoft Gaming's operations. Okay, so she said something interesting here. Let me scroll down. Okay, it says, for me, this is Asha speaking now, right? It says, for me, the spirit of return to Xbox is about returning to spirit, and that the team was founded on. Right. Sharma explains that the spirit of surprise, first of all, it was made up of a small team of people making a box to break into the market. Right.
She was in diapers when the spirit of Xbox existed. Okay.
No.
She was in diapers. Okay. So
that's not true.
Go ahead.
She was 10. She was 10.
No, she was 6.
Well, no. When Xbox came out, it was 2001. She's 36. It's 25 years. So she was 10 or 11. Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
All right. So Sharma explains that this is a spirit of surprise. It's also the spirit of building something nobody else was willing to try. I've heard renegade, rebellion, and fun used, and this is what I was thinking about when I wrote that. Now, Sharma acknowledges the investment of Xbox fans and customers have poured into the ecosystem over the years and seem generally keen on emphasizing the commitment to the console hardware. She continues to say, I think that our core Xbox fans are players that have invested for 25 years themselves in the universe of our console. I want to make sure that everybody knows I'm committed to Xbox, starting with the console. We're going to keep meeting players where they are, which is the same thing Phil Spencer said. The world continues to evolve and change, which is the same thing Phil Spencer said. We're going to make sure that Xbox is a great place for developers and players, which is the same thing Phil Spencer said. And we want to invest in reducing the artificial divide between the different types of devices that want to use with us, which is the same thing Phil Spencer said. I think this is also going to mean a lot more investment is breaking down the barriers in helping developers build once and show up across different hardware experiences. For me, I believe Xbox starts with its fans and will grow from there. And this is what we wanted for a single with the return of Xbox, right? She continues. by saying there's also been a ton of speculation about what kind of moves Asha might make. Xbox notoriously ditched any form of exclusivity of the games, shifting units of PlayStation paying little mind to criticism that reduced the need of actual buying an Xbox. Sharma told me that nothing is off the table when it comes to revising Xbox's strategy, but finalizing the strategy will take time. The data is parsing. Okay. She says, on Xbox recent strategy decision, Sharma said, the plan's the plan until it's not the plan. Which, in my acknowledging this, is that there is no fucking plan. Because if there was a plan, then you would have gone with that plan. But the plan is not the plan. And the plan is, there is no plan right now. They're like, well, let's just take spaghetti, throw it at the wall, see what sticks, and then we'll see where we go from there. Right? So, what do you think about this?
Well, listen, first of all, you spent 4 years telling us we didn't need an Xbox. Because they didn't want to make hardware, because in their minds, hardware was a loss. They're trying to cut corners to where they didn't have losses, and they wanted the subscription service to take over. So everyone's a subscription model. That's why they wanted day and date, which means I own nothing, right? I don't own a system. I have a TV, or I have the little thing attached to the back of my television, or I have an iPad, and I'm just playing Xbox games on a device, period. That's what they wanted. That's what they wanted. They spent 5 years convincing you don't need a box. It's just a thing. We're going to sell you games. Meanwhile, while you were doing that, you showed us over and over again that not any game that you guys were making was done at launch, fun to play, okay? No reason to own it, right? I'll just wait for it later, and they can't have that. They can't have you waiting. They need you to buy everything that comes down the pike. So either you have to be part of the subscription service, which is why they bumped it up, okay? That's it. What did you want me to own? If you're talking about releasing a console now, okay, whatever's supposed to come in the end of this year or beginning of 27, like, what console do you think I'm going to have? What is it about your console that's going to make me want to buy it? Right? Once again, I bought your last one.
Right.
You still haven't used it to its ability yet. Still waiting. Right?
Now you have to be cheap. It has to be cheap.
But why would I sell hardware at a loss if I can play the game anywhere? Right? See, the difference is you destroyed your own quality. They destroyed it themselves. If the games were released quality, right? Like finished without the problems, like, and I'm not talking about like basic problems. I'm talking about you have problems that this game needs to go back into the oven, right? If that were the case and they released the game complete, then Ultimate there'd be no question. There was to be no reason for me to own a box. I would just pay the $30 a month, and I get every game that comes down the pike. Totally worth it. But every game that comes down the pike is a POS and has to be fixed, put back in the oven. So why do I want to pay you $30 a month for old shit? It makes no sense.
Ron Slusher for $4.99 says, remember, kids, the plan is the plan, and it's not the plan. Okay, thank you very much for the $4.99. Real quick, Ron, funny you say that. I made a t-shirt. The t-shirt is the plan's the plan. It's called the Plan t-shirt, and it's a Plan A. Okay, and on this actual t-shirt, it has Xbox strategic roadmap. Okay, it's got cloud strategy is Plan A, subscription models Plan A. Then it goes down to Plan B, which is cloud strategy, and then platform shift for Plan B. Then it goes down to Plan C, which is the handheld Plan C. And then we have the global expansion in Plan C. And then it goes down to legacy console, which is we're in Plan D now. We're in Plan D right now. And then a completely new direction. Right. So the plan is the plan until it's not a plan. These t-shirts are up for sale right now on the site. So
why
go
wouldn't
check those out.
Why wouldn't the plan to be allow developers to make and finish a game? Why is that not part of the plan ever? Let developers see, but you have to support. It's going to go off the rails very quickly. You have to support the AA guys and just fund those guys, because you cannot sustain a AAA company on the time schedule that they want, because it's unsustainable to release games in the state that they want it on the deadline that they want it. It's not possible. You are bloated, over budgeted, quality's low, it's not fun. You're interjecting DEI nonsense, woke nonsense. Nobody cares about that shit. We just want a good game. Okay,
Right.
we just want a good game. So if you don't allow developers to have the time that they need because you guys have to talk to shareholders, then you guys are in the wrong business, right? Maybe it's time for the corpos to find another industry to go sink their teeth into to get reoccurring revenue from so they can build their yachts. And I didn't like the way that the other guy, it was a couple days later where they said that they're afraid that she might not make it, and they're comparing her to like Bobby Kotick, right? You can't compare anyone to Bobby Kotick because when Bobby Kotick was part of Activision Blizzard, it was right around the turning of the live service and microtransaction ridiculousness, right? He turned the corner, and that's what was going on. You were harvesting money from people like you were harvesting honey from bees, unlimited, collect every week. You're just harvesting money because that's what everybody was doing. Now it's a different environment. You're not getting this reoccurring revenue like you were when Bobby Kotick was buying his fourth yacht. It's not the same thing. Now we have to go back to actually making a product that actually works. So where's that plan, right? You have too many studios. You let them all go.
Sarge.
Look at the pile. The pile is you over abused your dev teams. You burned them out. You broke them up. You make them that they don't even want to do the job anymore. You got brain drain. You're moving them around, and then you don't allow them to do what they're supposed to do, which is create art, right? Meanwhile, the ones that were allowed to just be alone and make their game, Clair Obscur, Larian, succeed, and then everyone has to trash them immediately because corpos cannot have that kind of thing work. We can't have it work because it won't work for them. We can't grow a business. We can't show shareholders value if I'm not constantly doing the salute. It's impossible.
The only way that people would buy an Xbox console, Sarge, is what I said 6 years ago. Small device that can stream games that the average person will buy $100, $150, because the $600, $700 price tag is ridiculous. Now, here's another point maybe towards the swing of things, right? Because this February, they just decided to announce this. February Xbox update, 1440p streaming on Xbox consoles, ROG, Xbox Ally updates, and more.
How?
Okay.
How's that possible?
So February was a big month for launch of new features and updates, all one improving the Xbox gaming experience, rolling out the Xbox Game Pass members. Stream your favorite games at up to 1440p resolution on Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and Xbox One S consoles. Also on the PC app. And we've also added new sounds and help improve the controller navigation and responsiveness. Okay. They do continue down here and say that this upgrade is beginning to roll out on the Xbox Series consoles. Okay, join the Xbox PC app, handheld supported browsers, select Fire Stick TV devices, LG TVs, Samsung TVs, and with Xbox Cloud Gaming now out of beta. So again,
all you're really telling me is everyone's been under a governor this entire time. We could have had high stream gaming this entire time, but they had it suppressed on purpose to release later as some kind of benefit.
Again, I don't know, but the only way the Xbox can, if the prices of these consoles are going to stay super high, as the high-end gamer, you want a dedicated console in your house to play your natively on the actual console. But for everybody else that they want to get on Game Pass and whatnot, I'm sticking to my guns here. I think they come out with that smaller box that is just streamed to, like a Fire Stick TV, like any of those other things. They sell you a controller, they put some Game Pass on there for a month or two, and then you buy the thing. Cheap. Once you buy it, you're in the ecosystem. And once you're in the ecosystem, it's convenient. You just keep paying that $30 or $10 or $15 a month is what it is. And I think this is one more step closer to that reality, because if they come out and they're putting new hardware out there, the hardware, it's got to be cheap. Otherwise, I'm not going to buy your system. There's no reason for me to buy your system.
The Forbes articles came out. Destin went over it finally. He woke up out of a coma, right? He finally realized what the rest of us have been screaming for this entire time, that there's a finite amount of people who get into consoles. They're not buying. There's no more pie to serve, okay? And now we're just waiting, right? You're waiting. You want to see what they're going to do. They're not going to buy the console. right? You're not going to harvest these people. So what is it you're trying to accomplish, right? If you can't get them to change over on the console and you can't get them to pay for a subscription service, you're not giving them quality. But all of a sudden, you can miraculously have HD sent to all your devices. So that means all my devices could get HD before,
Right.
but you were basically limiting me on purpose. Either one, because the hardwire system probably couldn't handle it, or the cable companies were saying we can't do this, right? But meanwhile, Netflix and everybody else, you could stream all the movies, all these things, all the HD stuff up the wazoo, 24/7. It's all fine. But for gaming, for some reason, I can't have it. But now all of a sudden I can.
Well, it's a lot more data going through for games than it is for a movie.
I'm aware. So what does that say about the area that I live in? Am I supposed to rely on streaming on a game the entire time as opposed to having a hardwire?
But everyone thinks they have to have the masses. They don't have to have the masses, because the masses, for microtransactions, they just need a small percentage of the people that are buying microtransactions. People that buy microtransactions are looking for the whales, right? So they don't need everybody to buy the goddamn thing. They just need certain people to buy the thing, and that's an extra $30. That's an extra $15, right? And if you get 1 million extra people, or if you get 5 extra million people with a small device, and then they start using that device, think about long term, right? The Xbox One, they were trying to market it as the set-top box where you can watch TV and entertainment and all that stuff, right?
Nobody wanted that.
Nobody wanted it. But now they went out and bought a Fire Stick TV, or they bought a smart TV, and all that's already included in their television set, right?
That's right. It's included in the TV. You're correct.
Right. So now people right now have a smart TV, but on the back of their smart TV, they might have a Fire Stick, or they might have a Google Chrome on top of that, right? Well, now if they get the Xbox, it plays games through the cloud, or if they don't have an LG TV or Samsung new TV, this is another step for them. And again, it has to be a lower price. If it's a lower price, it's like a stocking stuffer. You know what I mean? There's a certain, it's psychological. If someone sees something for $99, they'll buy it. They won't even blink an eye. They're like, oh, it's $100, whatever, boom, right? But if it's $100, like, it seems too expensive, right? So if that 150,
but that works the opposite way, bro. If it's something is too cheap, they don't want it because they don't see the value. They don't see the value.
Correct. But the value for you and me is for the bigger boxes, is for the Xbox or the PlayStation 5. So you, as the gamer, are not going to go for that little device. But the casual person will go for that device, right? The casual person that walks around and goes, that TV says 4K. And so they buy the television set because the guy said it was 4K, right? They didn't tell them that they needed the cables and everything else, and there's no content being created for that. They just bought it because it's 4K and it was a good price. So that's what they do. For us gamers, for the percentage of people that own a PlayStation, own an Xbox, own a PC, this is why Xbox is not abandoning the console, because they're still going to make the high-end consoles. Just like PCs make high-end PCs, they make mid-tier PCs, they make low-tier PCs. They have different graphic cards across the board for people's different price points. If I can't afford a $4,000 PC, guess what? I got to pay $1,100 for my PC, and that's the market I'm in. Same exact thing with the console. That's what Xbox is trying to do. They're trying to meet people where they are just to get them on the ecosystem. Once they're on the ecosystem, how many people forget to cancel subscription model? How many people just they totally forget about it and just keeps recurring. That's what Xbox is trying to do. That's what Microsoft is trying to do.
Yeah, but you don't have the quality to hold on to them. It came out directly on Forbes that guys are only buying 4 games a year. The average person does less than, okay, so fine, less than 4 games a year. So why would I pay $30 a month?
Some people don't even buy a brand new game. Zero to one brand new game a year.
So then why would I spend $30 a month to play on a system? Why? If I don't spend it for 4 games, then why would I give them $30 a month for 12 months?
Well, why would you, if you can't afford a system, why would you lease a system? It's the same thing. If I can't afford a PlayStation, why am I paying $10 a month for a PlayStation? Because I can't afford the $700, but I can afford $10 a month.
You can't finance a game system like that, bro. Either you have it or you don't.
They are. I'm just letting you know that's what they're doing.
It's a joke. It's a joke, bro. It's a joke.
I know it's a joke, but that's what they're doing.
She's not going to be selling games, bro. She's going to find her purpose in life.
I don't think she's going to be there for 2 years.
Right. Well, she'll be there for 2 years because she's trying to try to implement what she wants to implement. They're going to see if it works because they needed fresh blood, right? Sarah and Phil had a certain amount of time to succeed. They didn't do it. They had to go, period.
Yeah.
That's the end. Now, whether you want to say that they were fired or retired, I don't care. They were told you can either go or we'll fire you. You can go on your own terms or we'll fire you. That's basically what it was going to be, right? Your time here is over. They did Sarah dirty. They replaced her. There's no fanfare. There's no goodbye. There's no nothing. It was just you're done, right? So now you have the AI girl. So what do you think she's going to do? Well, she's going to try to implement AI into the gaming sphere, where data harvesting will probably be at the top of the list, because the only way to get reoccurring money is to have a more detailed database of who's playing games and how to market to them.
Yep.
And that way you can show growth in the gaming sector instead of making games. Sure, the games will be important because you need to have something on the platform for us to actually want to pay your subscription. But the main thing is going to be her cracking down on fine-tuning how to analyze everybody that's in the ecosystem currently right now and how to advertise for them specifically so she can generate revenue. That's what she's there for.
I think she's also there to break down fundamentally what each studio is doing. So let's say they have 100 people working at the studio, and 10 people are working on the environmental stuff. Like they're putting the details on the ground grass, the dirt, the trees, the map stuff type of thing, right? Or the little details inside of a building. She's going to come in and say, hey, can we use AI for this? And then use you as something else. And if they can use AI for that, then they will use AI for that. And then people will lose their jobs there. That'll cut off.
There's going to be layoffs. You're gonna
yeah. Well, 100%. That'll cut off, let's say 10 people making $80,000 a piece. It's a big chunk of money for each of the studios doing that, right? Then the price of the video games comes down. So if it was $200 million, now it's, $140 million.
There's going to be some substantial layoffs coming up.
100%.
Nobody changes CEOs and no one gets fired. Let's put it that way. Nobody changes captains and no one gets changed.
Once I think they implement that, I think what you said as well, where they implement and figure out more focus. Because look at like YouTube. YouTube, when you look at video and you watch one video, all of a sudden it's like, oh, he likes this video. And they just shove more of that video up to you. Same with Steam. Steam, if you play one survival game, it throws 15 more survival games at you and says, well, you played this, so you like this. That's what they're going to do even more on Xbox. Or like, oh, well, you like this game on this. So they're going to start pushing more. If you're on Game Pass, you played a certain game, they're going to show you more of those types of games on Game Pass.
I expect the dashboard to change. I expect the UI for the dashboard to change. I expect there to be layoffs, and I expect there to be some kind of announcement probably by midsummer or end of summer about what they're thinking about doing. But it won't be, she's not going to tell you what they're actually doing behind the scenes. She'll tell you what she's doing on the gaming side to make everyone feel excited about what's to come. But really what it is an entire data restructuring.
There's some people that are Xbox employees and engineers and stuff, and they said that they think she's coming in, and it was pretty dark. They're like, she's coming in, she's going to slit the throat of Xbox and just take it away in the middle of the night. Like basically they're ending all of consoles and they're only going to become a publisher. And I'm like, I mean, that's possible, but at the same time, it would be stupid because they can still keep their foot in that arena with the consoles to the high end people that want to buy for the console.
That would be Sony's dream day if that were to happen. And then there would be good news for Sony and then horrible news for the rest of us, because then Sony has no more competition, because you can't really put Sony and Nintendo in the same boat because it's really two different islands.
One's
two different islands.
The other one's up here. Yeah.
Yeah. It's two different islands.
Different islands. Yeah. So another thing that was happening this weekend, everyone was worried about, is she a gamer? Is she a gamer?
Doesn't matter.
Right?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Corpos. If you haven't noticed, her qualifications say to anybody else who's hiring her for a job not to hire her, but corpos get the job anyway because she's specifically there for the area that she knows, which is the AI part. That's why she's there, right? Yeah. She's not there to enhance gameplay or game mechanics or
no,
right?
She's trying to enhance the back end for them. Yeah. Well, here's one way they might be making more money here, Sarge. Xbox reportedly exploring to bring more premium subscriptions to Game Pass Ultimate. If a rumor that Microsoft has added a new subscription to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate true, grabbing an expensive tier may be worth it for a lot of you. So Microsoft,
I found out today though. I went looking the last couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
I went looking for the 3-month Ultimate cards that were supposed to be the same price as they were when they first released. There are no more.
They're all gone.
They're all gone. So all the prices.
I told everyone to buy them when you could.
The game card, I did buy it when I could. I got mine to August, and after August, I'll have to decide whether I'm doing this anymore at all, because by then we'll know what you're doing.
Yeah, but you could drop down to the $10 level, because if you're not playing games If you're not playing games day and date, then you don't need the Ultimate.
I'm well aware.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is I looked online and you can't get those cards anymore. They used to be priced at the $10 mark for 3 months, $30. Now they're $89.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they're all gone. That's it.
Well,
so either you're in or you're not now. That's basically what it is.
And right. And if they lost 10% or 15%, the people that stayed in, they're making up for that people that left.
Right.
So it says Microsoft may add new subscriptions to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate like World of Warcraft, Fallout First, Minecraft Realms, and more, according to a new rumor. While these should take with a pinch of salt on the stage, it also could make an Ultimate tier feel a little bit more worthwhile outside of awesome than the Xbox Game Pass lineup. Recently, Tom Warren from The Verge spoke about all things Xbox working throughout 2026 and confirming that the Fallout 3 remaster was still happening. However, Warren also vaguely discussed that Microsoft was also in early stages of exploring ways to expand the Game Pass subscription lineup, but didn't elaborate beyond that. It says, thankfully, for a new post on the YouTube embedded, Jez Gordon has gone into more detail. Gordon states that I think we're also report recently. I think that Tom Warren was in the newsletter of The Verge, said that something along the lines of Microsoft trying to look at ways to add even more value to Game Pass. He says, I think they're making it so where more reasons to subscribe for $30 is probably like them racing against time right now. And they also need to make it. We need to make this work, to make people feel like it's worthwhile. So yeah,
so they're going to have to bring in the MMOs. Included with Ultimate, they're going to bring the MMOs, which you said. Yeah. How else you give it value? How else?
They either have to make a MMO realm type of thing where it's a package. They could bring in the family plan thing they were rumored about a couple of years ago, where they're going to bring another family grouping type thing in, which is funny because Asha, the new CEO, when she put her gamer tag out and people were like, is she a gamer? She came out a couple days later and said, well, I'm sharing my gamer tag with other people in the family. So it could be like her daughters, sons, nephews, whatever.
Why would she share a gamer tag? Why?
But the point is, if she's the CEO of Xbox and there's no family plan, this just hit her in the face going, oh, well, now that I just got roasted by the entire game industry because they think I'm not a gamer because I was letting my kids.
And it's okay that she's not.
Absolutely. But what my point is, this could be one of the priorities that she looks into and goes, well, why isn't there a family plan? Right. So instead of my daughter or son playing on my account, they can play on their accounts and we only pay for a certain period. So this might be an actual thing, right? This might actually be a thing that they actually do. Now, going back to the gamer tag, as Krebsy was saying, it doesn't matter, but it matters to Microsoft. Of course it matters to Microsoft. This is why they gave her a gamer tag, because they're like, well, the last CEO had a gamer tag and he was a gamer. So you gotta make it look like you're a gamer. Right. And she's
we'll know that you're lying immediately.
Yeah. Okay. Right. She's got achievements in Minecraft that like 0.2% have. And she played for like 3 hours. Get the fuck out of here. Right. Like who's speed running through to get to the dragon to get certain things inside of Minecraft? Like, come on. So and she beat a game within a certain amount of time. It's super rare achievements. It's like, come on. Whoever did this, I don't even think they played it. I'll be honest with you. I think they just added it to her account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my point. Why? Why would you want to ruin the credibility any worse in the gamer's eyes by lying to them for no reason? Why?
Exactly, Wolverine. You know why? Hello, fellow kids. Yeah, he's got the got the skateboard walking down the hallway. Hi, fellow gamers. Yeah, that's exactly the feeling it was when she said, because she was generic with her stuff, right? She said Halo, Valheim, and 007. And then she went in and said it was GoldenEye. I was like, you were 6 when GoldenEye came out. Unless you played like the recent one that just came out. But like, what are we talking about? Like GoldenEye.
The one that nerfed Oddjob? Why would I want to play that one? Why would I play the worst copy of a GoldenEye?
I just thought it was funny. It's like you're trying too hard, right? Trying way too hard.
Listen, you know what? Just do your job, right? Prove to us that you're not going to turn everything into AI and market my data. Prove that to me, and then we'll talk. Right? Don't bother any of your development teams until they have a game that's working, and then we'll talk. Until then, I know what you're there for. I know what you're there for. I expect my UI to change probably within a month.
No,
maybe
it'll take longer than that. Next one is Highguard reveals a brand new game mode and gameplay changes. Let's read when this comes out for them, Sarge. Highlight Entertainment has announced a brand new update for Highguard. Tens of people are excited. That brings the game mode, weapon adjustments, gameplay changes. It's also been turbulent time for Highguard since it released on January 26th. Has it been a month? It's been a month. It's been 1 month since this game launched. right? So unfortunately, High Guard hasn't met those expectations yet, while also player numbers have shot up after it released, largely because the game was free to play. People are also curious as if it wasn't able to maintain the momentum. So when does this new event come out? So High Guard has revealed a brand new update for the game, which is all set to go live today. Well, let's see how many people went to go play High Guard with this brand new update, Sarge. Woo! Let me make sure it's refreshed. All right, 521 people, 611 people, of a 24-hour period. There's tons of people playing this brand new game mode and update that happens with High Guard here. Amazing. I can see everyone just High Guard. Yeah. High Guard reportedly has less than 20 devs working on it following a mass layoff at Wildlight. So Skeleton Crew over here. High Guard Studio Wildlight Entertainment reportedly has less than 20 people remaining on to work on the game following a round of devastating layoffs just weeks after the game's launch.
Devastating.
It is to them.
It's not devastating.
This comes from new from Bloomberg report, tells us the story of Wildlight rises and falls since the founders first assembled a team back in 2021. Made up of Respawn veterans, the group hoped to recreate the successful Apex Legend Titanfall, initially a survive-focused shooter, and then they designed quite work as well as they hoped. So they scrapped and pivoted to High Guard, leaving remnants of the original survival game. Wait, it was a survival game originally? When the design didn't quite work, it hoped that they would scrap and pivoted to High Guard, leaving remnants of the original survivor game. In the final draft, it was also now a hero shooter. They went from a survival game to a hero shooter. Jesus Christ.
You know what this is? This is like putting one of your relatives in hospice. That's what this is.
What has happened? A survival game. No wonder they've got that goddamn pick and you're breaking crystals in the game. They left that in the game from the survival game and put it into a hero shooter. Holy shit. Survival game in the final draft that was now a hero shooter as the game progressed. Testers and positive feedback that had developers hopeful, though notable that they said that it was also more fun and microphone with voice chat and experience to be complicated than less fun without them. Sources speaking to Bloomberg said the studio largely had a positive culture at the team and felt good about what they were making up until the game's announcement and the Game Awards, which apparently came about Jeff Keighley's urgent. Yeah, we already read all this stuff. So there you go. So new update. They're still supporting it. It was a survival game that got turned into a hero shooter, and it's got 500 and what was it?
It's just
521 people.
This is the equivalent of putting a relative in hospice. You're putting this video game in hospice. That's what this is.
This is bad. Like, even the 20 people are like, why am I doing this? Like, they have to be sitting there going, I'm here just collecting a check. I have no passion for this game. It's not coming back, right? This is not coming back. This is dead. Flatline. You're not even putting him in hospice, Sarge. You just bring him to the morgue, right? This thing is going to the morgue.
You didn't have a beta. You didn't have an alpha. You didn't get people personal feedback. Everyone told you it was great, and you released it based on that. So I don't know what you want. I don't know what you guys want. I mean, how many of these do you need to see? Right?
Law game is doing so bad.
Lawbreakers
pulled its funding.
Lawbreakers. I mean, the list goes forever now, right? How many of these are you going to see?
Yeah, it is sad. Like, I wish we could all have that magic 8-ball and be like, is this game going to be successful? No, I'm saying, is this game going to be successful? Highly doubt it, right? Like, that's what they should have done, because if they just showed it to people early on, not fart sniffers, like actual people that would have given them criticism, okay, they would have been like, yeah, this is not it. This is not it. As Altern says, he says, well, it makes sense. They have mounts, harvesting, huge areas. Sounds like a survival thing. They had a survival game, and hey, you know what? It might have actually been better if it was a survival game, but instead they decided to make it a generic hero shooter with no backstory whatsoever. Chad Highguard. Well, another one bites the dust. That one's done. Speaking of Skeleton Crew, Sarge, this article is not talking about it, but I just want to bring it up to put on screen so people know I'm talking about Battlefield. Battlefield 6, there's starting to be people that are talking about Battlefield 6 and going, I don't know what's happening with it. They're not really supporting it. Things are not getting fixed, and it's like they've almost abandoned it. So the community manager came out and said that their resources are limited. Think about that for a second. This was a 5-studio, 4-year, then 4 studios for the remainder of the time in that 4 years to make Battlefield 6. Game wasn't supposed to come out this year or last year. It's supposed to come out this year. But Grand Theft Auto said, hey, we're not coming out. They said, this is our time. Throw it out there. Everyone did it.
They bought it.
11 million people minimum,
right?
Bought that. 14 million people bought it. And now everyone kind of regrets it. It's like they slept with the wrong person. Now they regret it. They're like, I shouldn't have done that. How we fix this? How do we fix Battlefield? Well, you already slept with her. So sorry. Now you're going to get those phone calls in the middle of the night because, they're on.
Listen, they made their money. They're on to making the next game.
That's correct. So they have a limited crew working on Battlefield 6, making changes, adding maps, doing a bunch of different things. Everybody else has moved on. Now, we did an article a long time ago talking about they wanted to do a yearly launch of Battlefield within the next 5 years.
Never going to happen.
So hear me out here. Are you ready for this? It took them 4 years to make this game. Now that this game's here, proven recipe that it works. Now they have
what proven recipe? Make it Call of Duty-ish.
Yeah,
get everyone to buy it, then everyone hates it.
They have three teams right now, right? So the mass market of the team, they had 4 studios. So let's just say there's 3 studios, 3.5 studios working on this right now. So Studio 1, okay, this is Plan A for EA. Plan A is Studio 1. They are making the game that's going to take 2 years for them to make, okay, on the backbone of what Battlefield 6 is. So this game, Battlefield 6, will be supported this year and next year. So 2026 to 2027. October of 2027, first A team comes out with their Battlefield, and that gave them 2 years to work on it, right? Team 2 is now working on Battlefield whatever. That comes out the following year, which will be 2028, which would be just a little bit more. So here you go. So it lines up to, by the time we get to that first launch 2 years after this, we start to hit that cycle of after the 5 years. So 1 year, then the next year, and then it's every year. Battlefield's going to come out every year like Call of Duty. And they're just going to completely just wring it out and destroy the complete brand because this game doesn't need to be every year. But they want to turn it into Call of Duty. They want to turn it into Call of Duty.
Not going to happen. You don't have the player base to buy it every year. You just don't. It's a constant trying to fit the square peg in the round hole. I don't understand what it is you think you want. It's okay to have people make games and they come out every 3 or 4 years and you have a different game come out and then you miss the other game. And then when it comes out again, you want to buy it because you miss it. You think that you have a strong enough following that you're going to release Battlefield every year after you've destroyed the franchise? Like you think they're going to get those people to keep rebuying it because of the magic formula that you just did? I mean, I'm probably more excited for Hell Let Loose Vietnam, which is going to be a train wreck, by the way, than I am for any Battlefield game.
It's going to be entertaining, if anything.
By the way the gameplay is for Hell Let Loose, Vietnam's going to be a shit show.
Well, the Vietnam for Battlefield was a shit show, so I don't see any.
But for the same reasons, though.
Yeah, I know.
The same reasons.
Yeah, we've talked about this.
You can't see anybody. You're in the jungle. Your life expectancy is exactly 45 seconds.
I just think it's funny that the entire Battlefield community is like, what went wrong? Like they don't see what went wrong.
What went wrong?
Yeah,
like, you don't know.
Like they don't see it. They're the problem. Like they're the problem. Like the reason that Battlefield 6 is in the situation it is right now is because you pre-ordered, you bought it day one, and you ate it up. You ate it up. You smelled the farts. You went underneath the sheet. They farted. EA farted on you. DICE farted on you, and they covered you with your head, and they gave you a Dutch oven, and you were like, "Oh, this is so good. Battlefield 6 is so," and that's it. Now you're choking to death, right? That's what went wrong.
Well, it went right because they sold the copies they wanted to, Travis.
That's it, Travis. That's it. What went right is they sold
copies.
14 million copies of the actual game.
Yeah. They sold a Call of Duty game disguised as a Battlefield game, and the Call of Duty. Now, mind you, the Call of Duty game was pretty bad.
Yeah.
And so that's why you got
lowest it's been. Yeah.
Right. That's why you got the people that bought Battlefield because they made the decision that this game is better than Call of Duty. So we're going to go with this one.
And then they went back.
You think that that's going to happen every year? Doubtful.
Yeah. This is going to be very interesting to see what happens with Battlefield moving forward. Let's see how much time we have left here. Quick stories. We got quick stories here. We've got Amazon. I'm just going to read you the headlines so people understand what's going on here. Amazon is shutting down another game. Former Lionhead dev, King of Meat, the comedy platformer, will close 6 months after it launched. So Amazon's like, hey, we're getting into the game industry, guys. We're gonna make MMOs. We're gonna do all these things, and they fired everybody. They've abandoned everything that has to do with games. Games doesn't exist for Amazon. Okay, so
it's almost like making games is hard, bro. Right? It's
Yeah.
almost like not everybody can do it. Right? It's almost like it's not one of those kind of businesses that corporations want to be invested by hundreds of millions and billions of dollars because they can't guarantee returns. It's weird, right?
I feel like Amazon was like, they wanted to cancel this real fast, but they're like, we can't close it before Concord. We have to keep it open at least 6 months. Keep it a good distance away. We don't want to take the new title away from Concord. Concord is.
I don't even know what's King of Meat. Do we have a video of it?
It's a party platformer. It says which founder
of Meat.
Yeah, here. This is what it is right here. I don't know if they have an actual picture of it.
That's enough.
Yeah,
I think that's enough.
So
yeah, that's
King
enough.
of Meat. I mean, I'm not surprised, but Amazon again. Then we have Nikon files in insolvency days before the big showcase, just over 2 weeks before Greedfall 2 released its full 1.0 version. Right, AA publisher developer Nikon filed a insolvency, raising questions over the future of games such as Greedfall 2, Hell of Us, RoboCop, and the Test Drive Unlimited. Nikon also, which is home of 16 development studios, as well as a publishing arm, said that it forces into the decision after majority shareholders failed to make a loan repayment, is also now asked the French court for permission to restructure its debt. It says, quote, the aim is produced assets of all possible solutions and ensures sustainability. The company's activity under the best possible conditions, protect employees and preserve jobs while renegotiating with the creditors and the claim of constructive framework. Nikon said that the procedure will also enable the company to continue its business, renegotiate its debts, and develop a credible, effective contingency plan. And the court is expected to make the decision as hearing as early March. So there's another studio that's having problems.
But it's all the same. The same is you cannot show growth to shareholders by making video games. They saw COVID as like this thing that was never going to end, which is mental. Then they saw the microtransactions and they thought that was never going to end. So we were going to have like unlimited games, unlimited money forever, and everyone was going to buy their 4th or 5th gold yacht, right? That's what was going to happen, bro, right? No problem, right? But the fact of the matter is that markets change all the time. You cannot treat the gaming industry like you can the rest of the industries. It's not the same type of product. And they refuse to acknowledge that. So instead, they keep gobbling up more and more studios under their own umbrellas, thinking that, well, if we have enough companies under us, that we can still pump out a certain amount of games every year and show growth. And that's not how it works. Because you don't know if the game is going to succeed or not based on prior game success. It doesn't work that way anymore. And it doesn't work that way anymore because they caused it. You kept trying to MVP everything instead of doing a quality job. And more times you did it, the more and more jilted we got and started realizing there's no reason for me to buy this game because it's just a half-assed product anyway. Everything that's happened to the gaming industry right now was caused by corpos not belonging in this industry. The guys that knew
100%.
how to make video games,
100%.
the guys that knew how to make video games, funny enough, those guys are still making games. It's weird, right?
Here's where I'm upset, right? So RoboCop is the people that they made the RoboCop, the new one, Rogue City, which sold pretty well. They've admitted that it sold well. Yeah, for them. I supported it. And now they're going to go bankrupt and they're trying to figure shit out.
Well, they're going to go bankrupt because they're under a pile of other guys. That's why, right?
Here's what I'm saying, right?
The systemic brain drain and just destruction of creativity that's happened over the last probably almost 10 years now is going to definitely retard the growth of gaming. It's going to take a while for people to find companies that they want to work for, find teams that they jive with, be creative with each other, and be able to come out with products that people actually want to buy.
Right. Well, what I was saying here is, right, everyone tells you support the devs. But we've supported more than enough devs, like game companies, that were like, hey, we're buying your game with exponentially. There's good stories like Pal World and Helldivers and all these other stuff, right? RoboCop sold well. It didn't sell phenomenal, but it sold well. But now they might go under. So as a gamer, when people are like, you gotta buy games to support the games, like, it doesn't fucking matter if we buy it or we don't buy it, because they're gonna go bankrupt regardless. It's because of bad management, bad situation, whatever they're doing, overbloated stuff. Okay, so for me, the customer, I don't give a shit if they go under or not. I only want to buy a game because I'm interested in the game, not because Timmy and Sarah need a job, right? They made the game. I buy the game. Make a game, sell a game, buy a game, play a game, right? That's the hierarchy here.
Yeah,
right?
but
So
asses of cremation has something to say about it.
But what I'm saying is, as a consumer, when people come out and say, well, you should buy and support the things, even when we do, they close down. It doesn't matter.
Well,
so
not
what
all
I'm
the time.
saying is,
not all the time.
If
If
you're
you
a gamer,
support something that
if you're a
shouldn't be
gamer,
supported, it
buy
sticks
what
around.
Yeah, but buy what you want that you like, because if you like the person or like the game, whatever the company, you buy it. But it doesn't matter because not enough people bought it to make it successful. So buy what you like. That's it. Don't worry about people giving you guilt trips of, well, you should go out and buy this game and help the devs. No, a game is a game. If you like the game, go buy the game. If you don't like the game, don't buy the game. It's that simple. Make game, sell game, buy game, play game. That's it.
Yeah, but they can't budget for that kind of
upper management in these companies are horrendous. They all get into the market.
Well,
I don't care what anyone says.
It's a lot of middle management guys, though.
They get into the video game business because they think they can make a shit ton of money.
Well, that's because it was shown. It was shown that you can make a lot of money.
That's how everyone got in the movie business. Become a movie star because you can make a shit ton of money until you don't, right? So many people lose money in the movie industry. So many people lose money in the video game industry. It's the same fucking thing. Entertainment is entertainment. You put your blood, sweat, and tears into something, and it could be awesome, or it could be absolutely nothing.
Well, you're hoping as an individual studio, though, that you come up with at least one or two good ones to carry you over in case you have a bad one.
You want to put your best foot forward and have the best thing possible.
Because if you have a bad one, you can survive the bad game release and then go on to the next game.
Sure. All right, let's go to this clusterfuck of what's happening over here. Right, Paramount. Okay. Paramount Skydance's Q4 loss widened after the TV downturn amidst the effort to acquire Warner. What I want to talk about is, right, so Netflix had the bid. Paramount came in, overbid Netflix, but the shareholders of WB said, no, we're still going with Netflix. This has been going on for months and months and months. Paramount finally came out and said, all right, they took and then put it on the table, right? They put a big chunk of meat on the table, and they want to pay a crap ton of money. So much so that they're willing to, where is it? That's the wrong one. This is the one I was looking for. They're willing to put an exorbitant amount of money towards this. So the board of Warner Brothers Discovery said Thursday, determined by the latest offer from Paramount Skydance and superior proposal, the exists merger packed with Netflix, the move set to off a 4-day clock for Netflix to make a counter offer to nearly $83 billion deal that reaches Warner Brothers Discovery in early December. Now, Netflix has 4 business days, or Wednesday, March 4th, okay, at 11:59 to come up with a new proposal to salvage the deal. So in a statement Thursday, following the conclusion of this period, the board determines that in good faith after consultation, which also independent financial legal advisors, after considering a revision of the terms of Netflix merger agreement proposed by Netflix, continues to continue company's superior proposal. WB Discovery would also be entitled to terminate Netflix's merger agreement. And it stands that Warner Brothers Discovery Netflix agreement remains to effect, and which is up to vote on March 20th. Now, they're offering like $31 a share, which is $183 billion is what they're putting cash. I think it's cash money. Let me go scroll back up at the top. They say it down here. The funny part of this, though, Sarge, is that, so in a statement, Warner Brothers listed elements of revision of Paramount Skydance bid that turned the tables. Okay, increase the purchase price of $31 a share, accelerated timing of a daily ticking fee of 25 cents per quarter to begin after December 30th of 2026 until they get through, until the transition fee, Increase the regulatory breakup fee to $7 billion in the event that the transaction does not close. So Warner Brothers would get $7 billion if the Paramount deal doesn't go through for doing absolutely nothing, just the fees and stuff. They get $7 billion. But here's the crazy one. Okay. Reaffirmed it will pay the $2.8 billion termination fee, which WB Discovery would require to pay Netflix if they terminate the existing Netflix merger agreement. So like right now, Netflix makes $2.8 billion if Paramount wins. Okay. Now Netflix is hurting big time right now because their stock's dramatically dropping since they've been doing this
because of this merger.
Yeah, because of the merger.
Because of the merger.
Okay. So it says also reaffirm they eliminate the WB Discovery's potential $1.5 billion financial cost associated with a debt exchange offer. They agreed to obligation to contribute additional equity funding to the extent needed to support the solvency certification required. Okay. And then they agreed that the company's material adverse effect definition means that the price won't be dropped if WB Discovery linear network declined faster than expected before the deal closes. Right. So I'm sorry, it's 108 billion. Paramount's latest bid was 108 billion, not 183 billion. 108 billion, all cash offer. When Disney bought Fox, it was $70 billion, right? Activision, or Microsoft bought Activision, was $69 billion. This is $108 billion for WB, right? Now people are speculating, Sarge, that Netflix never wanted the deal, right? Now they're saying that Netflix didn't even want the deal. They were just testing the waters.
Yeah, okay. That's a lie. That's a lie.
Because they say they're going to buy something bigger.
Yeah, like Disney.
I don't know. But they're saying that the reason they did this is because if they bought WB, people are saying it's a monopoly in the streaming service because they're already the biggest in streaming. And adding WB to their portfolio would make them gigantic, and they basically would have a monopoly on the entire industry. Movie industry would close. Like the theater system would close completely, right? This is why the government is trying to step in, because they're like, oh, we're going to let this go through and Paramount get the deal, because they're trying to save a whole industry. Because if Netflix gets this deal, movie theaters are done. If Paramount gets this deal, movie theaters stay. How much longer? I don't know, but they're here. I don't think they'll ever go away fully, but the chains and stuff would be completely gone. Okay. So let's speculate here a little bit. If Netflix is just testing the waters here, and now Paramount gets WB, now they're much bigger, and now Netflix comes in and says, yeah, we'll buy Disney, right? We'll buy, I don't know, some other organization that's mega corporation, Amazon, whatever. I don't know.
Well, it won't be for, even if that's the case, it won't be for a while, because the valuation of the company took a big hit because of this whole deal. And so they've lost a substantial amount of their value because of their stock price dropping. So we'll see. And I don't think Disney's ready to fold in yet, because they just put a new CEO in. So,
well, there's also talks about him because they're already using AI on top of the Disney Plus platform. So they think that he won't. Basically, what's happening with Microsoft and Disney is like mirroring images. They feel like these two CEOs in Disney and also with Microsoft, short stints. They're here 1.5, 2 years max, and then they're gone.
Yeah, but they need them to implement the direction.
Whatever they're implementing. Yes, correct.
It's just
so
it's sad, dude. The number keeps getting bigger and bigger.
$108 billion. Warner Brothers just sold 2 years ago, and now they're getting sold again.
When you're at that level, though, I think they should Gordon Gecko that thing and break it apart and sell it in pieces, as opposed to selling everybody everything.
At some point, I think you have to, right? Because if you want,
you can't allow one person to control it all.
Right, but what stops people? I guess they would have to make rules, but what would stop someone? Let's say they break up WB, and someone's like, okay, it's like an auction. We have Harry Potter. Who wants to bid on Harry Potter, right? And then each company says, well, we'll bid that. We'll take Harry Potter, and they win the bid for that. And they're like, okay, the next one is DC, right? Who wants Batman, right? Do they break up DC into each individual character, or do they just sell DC as a whole?
It would probably just be DC as DC, because otherwise you run into the Sony problem with Spider-Man.
Yeah, but wouldn't you have the same problem though if a company had way more money than the other company? Sure, one company gets Batman or DC, but then the other company gets Game of Thrones or Harry Potter and all this other stuff, right? It would still work out the same way where most of the company would go to somebody else.
There would be blind auctions. You get one bid and that's it. So you can't you keep outbidding.
They have to do something.
You would bid what you think it's worth, and if your number is the right number above what the other person is, then you win, and otherwise you don't. That's just it. And let them try to figure out what the valuation is for all those IPs. Let them sit in a room and think about what it's worth to them, considering what they've done to all the IPs currently, flushing them down the toilet. How much would you pay for Batman by itself or DC by itself? You know what I mean? It makes them think a little bit more than just saying we're going to bully everybody until we get what we want.
Well, basically, what's going to happen, chat, is what happened back in the old days on television. And it was ABC, CBS, NBC. It was 3 major companies that owned basically, or 4 major companies that owned everything.
But they decided that.
Correct. Well, now they're deciding it again.
They decided that.
Well, no, but now they're deciding again because now instead of the movie industry, it's the television industry, which is the streaming industry. So it's Netflix, Disney, Paramount. It's the same fucking thing. It's just happening over again.
Yeah, it's true. Absolutely true.
All right, we're going to go to Q&A. Let me put the banner up here. If you guys have a question, go ahead and hit the put a Q in front of your thing. We'll mark it, and then we'll answer your questions. Let me see what else we got. Sarge, they have a I'm going to show this. I'm not going to play any sound. This is Marvel
Maximum Collection.
Maximum Collection. Okay, it's got a whole bunch of games.
Is it on my phone?
What do you mean? Is it on your phone?
Is this on my phone?
I have no idea if it's on your phone. I don't know where it's coming. They're selling this. This is the Marvel Maximum Collection. This is
it's maximum and limited.
Yeah, all the Marvel games from the past that you loved when you were a kid, Sarge.
Yeah, it's the X-Men the arcade game. Yeah,
you got the X-Men arcade featuring 6-player online multiplayer, which basically just released it anyway.
I remember the Captain America and the Avengers.
Captain America and the Avengers.
I can't move.
So you have this. Then you have, what's the next one?
Something I won't play.
Then you have revisit Marvel's 8-bit and 16-bit past.
Oh, Silver Surfer. Very hard game.
You got Spider-Man, X-Men,
very hard game.
Revenge. Look at those graphics, man.
Oh, man.
Yep. You have Spider-Man, Venom, Maximum Carnage.
Yep.
Oh, the memories. You have Venom and Spider-Man's Separation Anxiety. You have Silver Surfer.
Very hard game. So hard I broke a controller on that one. Yep.
Enjoy the Museum and more. Good times. Nostalgia kicking in.
Yeah, no.
Marvel Maximum Collection coming soon to Nintendo Switch, PlayStation
5,
Xbox, and Steam.
everybody. Yeah.
Not your phone though, Sarge. No phone.
No phone.
No
so
phone.
It's going to be like $25 though. You know it's going to be $25.
Oh yeah, it's not going to be expensive.
That's expensive for that. $25 for
all
that.
All those games, yeah, you can get for $50. You can get 256,000 games. Remember, we just talked about that a couple.
Well, this is my point.
Oh, sorry. Let's see what else we got.
It's going to happen, right? They have nowhere to go. They're going to do remakes and remasters now again. You know that, right?
Of course. It'll never stop.
No, I mean it's going to have to be. It's going to have to be at this point because they don't have anything else to go to.
Well, first of all, Xbox is sitting on a smorgasbord of games that Activision owns that they can just release on Game Pass. So many games. They don't have to remaster them. They don't have to reboot them. They can just release them. The Transformers games, the Spider-Man games. There's so many Ultimate Alliance games. Like all of these games, they could just release and make money or value on the actual Game Pass and stuff. But no, they're just sitting. They're like, nah, we don't want to pay for the licensing again for Transformers to Hasbro, so we're not going to release that. Right? We don't want to play Marvel anything. So they just sit there. They just sit and just rot in the backlog of all these digital warehouses, basically, where nobody can play them. Real quick, while we're talking about that, Elder Scrolls Online is now a Play Anywhere title. It supports on console. Progress comes to PC, but not yet. Okay, after years of requests, ESO is set to support Xbox Play Anywhere, bringing console characters to PC through Xbox servers. So there you go. Again, just one more thing that goes towards is one of the few generally strong MMOs that's still thriving today, along with RuneScape, World of Warcraft, and a handful of others. So a wider availability is also strengthened, but also thinking of the frustrated Xbox players for years is the lack of Xbox Play Anywhere support. The feature would allow players to carry their saves, achievements across the console and PC using the same Xbox account. So that's coming for them. More games coming to Xbox everywhere. And this is where, or Play Anywhere, this is why Sarah Bond got fired, not because of ESO, but because of Xbox Play Anywhere, because it was her idea and they hate it. So
they hate it because no identity.
I know that, but they hate it.
No identity.
They're adding more to it. We hate you, Sarah Bond. We hate that you came up with it. Yeah, ESO. Yeah, go ahead. Put that on Xbox Play Anywhere.
Everything, the whole infrastructure that they wanted to do, it relies on actual game production, and they don't have it. And it's not that they don't have the means of production. It's like they don't allow the studios the time needed because they have to have stuff come out. That's it, right? They will. If EA had their way, everything would be FIFA. Everything,
100%.
Everything would be FIFA.
100%. Well, Battlefield is going to be Madden for EA. We always said Call of Duty is Madden.
It's not.
But for Activision. But now Battlefield will be Madden for EA.
It will not.
Every year.
Nobody will buy a broken ass game every year. That's just mental. Right? You just bought 2 in a row that were 4 years and 5 years apart.
Broke.
You think I'm going to do it the same way every year? I'm going to just throw money at it? You got brain dead, bro. You're brain dead.
All right, it's time for Q&A. All right, first question. Ray says, will the U.S. economy crash if AI fails?
I'm not sure it'll crash.
I don't know if it'll, I don't know if it'll crash.
It's probably going to drop a shit ton.
Yeah, I don't know if it crashes.
You have to remember, they're moving the money amongst themselves. You have to remember, like the money that's moving around, is to themselves. The part that's going to crash is the stocks of them, actually, the people in the stocks with them, right? If you've got money invested in all the companies that are buying from each other, you're going to lose soon if that bubble pops, because that money is not real, right? The valuation of what's going on in AI isn't real. So the stocks for those companies are going to drop, but not for everybody.
Yeah. Well, all right. Next question we have is Waterbear says, how long will Asha be at Xbox? I'm giving it 6 months or a year before she's gone.
No, they're under contracts, bro. Corpos get contracts.
I would say,
you don't hire somebody and they just wander around your building.
2 years. She's there for 2 years.
She's got at least a 2-year contract. Right?
2 years.
Mark the date.
2 years. She's here for 2 years. And the only way that she's out before is if something catastrophic happens and they just pissed off at her, and then they still have to pay her out.
Right. They have to pay her out.
She still gets her golden parachute. But 2 years. I think she's here for 2 years. And then you'll hear about if she's done fantastic, they sign a new contract. And if it's not fantastic, someone else steps in.
Right. 2-year contract. If you win, 5-year contract.
Just keep an eye on it. If you see a Xbox event happen and all of a sudden a new person's on stage, you're like, who's this person? Plan's already in motion. That's the new person that's going to take her job, right? Just because she should be the spokesperson. If someone else comes out, or if Matt Booty's more on the stage than she is, well, there you go. They're like, no, she's the lead, but there's always someone ready to take over. Waterbird says, will you guys be testing out Marathon this weekend? I'm sleeping fine. I don't need melatonin in my life right now. I'm sleeping just fine. I watched Dr. Disrespect earlier, and I also watched Summit. And let me tell you, it's like popping melatonin pills. Like, I watched this game, and I'm like it's, and again, this is not saying the game is shit. I'm not interested in it. But I watch it because I want to talk about it. I want to see what it is. I want to do, because I'm not going to play it, but I can't even watch it. I can't even watch it. Have fun, whoever wants to have fun with it, but holy Christ, right? Dr. Disrespect said he played it for 7 hours today. At least when I saw him play it, he was like, I played it for 7 hours. I happened just to catch this moment. He was playing with a couple people. He goes, he went quiet for a second and he said, you know, I don't know if I'm going to play this past the first day. And they're like, really? You're not gonna play it? He goes, nah. He's like, it's just boring. He's like, I don't even want to play. He's like, I'm not having fun. I'm not having fun. And I was just like, okay. And then all of a sudden, you know, he did the character, started screaming and stuff like that. He's like, that's fucking bullshit, you know, whatever. But I was just like, I think that's pretty straightforward. I mean, I was watching them play. He was with a full squad, but nothing was happening. They were fighting against AIs for most of the time, but nothing was exciting. It was just like, and then visually looking at the game, my eyes hurt. And it said 60 frames. They're playing at like 120 frames, and I'm like, what is this? What is it? I don't get it. It looks fantastic for the people. So
I do not support Bungie anymore.
So next one, what would your next prefab in Hightail be? I did two cottages. I did a single floor cottage. I did a loft cottage. I did a blacksmith. I'm thinking about either doing a tavern or a church is my next thing that I'm going to do for the Hightail build. Is what I'm going to do. Travis says, since y'all are clearly getting Toxic Commando, what classes will you play? Going drone guy. I would go with the was it strike class? That's what I would go with.
Healer.
Yeah, Sarge is always healer.
Healer. For sure.
Next one, Altern says, is Star Wars Galaxies combat old school MMO combat or have it modernized it? No, it's
cool.
It's the game from
it's ranged. It's more ranged than anything else. So it's
I mean, there's melee. It's not a modern MMO. It is. Go look at 2003 original Star Wars Galaxies.
Yeah.
What it is. It's what it is.
Yep.
You probably won't like it, Altern. I don't know.
Yeah, you have to have the patience to play it.
Krebsy says, so how is Art Raiders server slam going? Oh, well, I don't know. Let me check.
Well, nobody said that the house is on fire, so I'm assuming it's going pretty decent.
That's pretty good numbers. I said it would hit 150,000 at launch.
What are they testing for?
It's not a test. This is an advertisement because it comes out 3 days after this is over. This is just an advertisement leading up to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just different marketing. Just different kind of marketing.
Yeah, it's just marketing. It's just marketing. Maybe server slam just to check the servers and stuff like that. But 121,000, 143,000, 24-hour peak, right? We're not at the weekend yet. We'll see what happens, you know. But it's not a Hightail or not a Hightail, a Highguard at this point. So it's not a Highguard. Next one. Waterbear says, what is over under on remakes and remasters this year? I'm giving 27 remakes and remasters by the time the Game Awards drops.
That's a lot.
That's high.
That's high.
That's high. I'm
high praise.
I would go 16.
I'll give you. We're not counting anything that came out already, right? I'll give you maybe 10 or 12, maybe.
Okay,
nothing more than that.
So 12. We're gonna have to book this, Sarge. This is a big book of bull moment. We're gonna have to let me mark this.
I mean, I know the games that are in pipe right now. I can.
You say 12, I say 16, and Waterbear says 27.
That's a lot. I mean,
it's been booked. That's it.
But we'll see. See what you're counting, though. We got to discuss what you're counting. Like, it's got to be a game that's already come out, and they're just re-releasing it. Right? Got it.
Okay. Krebsy says, where do we see Phil and Sarah land? Nintendo or PlayStation or Ubisoft? Maybe they partner up and use the connections to start a studio. Or does Phil retire and become a consultant? I think Phil takes a year off.
Take a time out.
Yeah, I think Phil takes a time off.
Let that Ozempic sink in. Let him go do some stuff.
When he comes back, and I'm only saying this because he said he would love Nintendo. When he said, well, you know, if they were buying up people at the time, and he says, I'm a big fan of Nintendo. I could see him landing at Nintendo for like 2 years. You know, just as his dream job.
I don't think they need him.
Yeah, but I think he wants to be there.
Yeah, that's great, but I don't think they need him.
Yeah, but
what are you paying him for?
What I'm saying is he doesn't have to be CEO. He could just be like a consultant for them or something, right? Like he could be that. I don't know. I just see Phil going to the Nintendo.
Yeah, I think he's taking a little time off for sure.
I think so.
Yeah, 20+ years in a company, you're taking a little break.
I don't know, man. I think when you're in it that long, as long as he's been, you take 6 months to a year, and then you get back right in it again because you get bored and you don't know what to do.
Back into what? Board meetings and arguments with the higher ups?
Yeah, you got to do something.
Yeah, I know you need purpose, but 28 year plus, I'll take a little break.
Of course. It's this. It's this parachute.
No, no one's doing this.
This is where the things are.
You're holding on. You're not doing the stunt flying
That's
thing.
You're hoping
you land
now.
You're hoping you land.
No, parachutes. You got the things. You're moving around. All right, next one. Alternate says, how much time is left on Hygard? Want to update when the game is going to close. I mean, I said 6 months.
We're surprised it went this far.
I said 6 months to a
I
year.
gave it to Groundhog Day, bro.
Yeah,
I gave it
February 2nd was when he gave it to him.
In my defense,
actually, if I remember correctly,
Groundhog Day was dead.
Well, if I remember correctly, I did say May. I would have to go back and check the time when we put it in the big book of Bull, but I'm pretty sure I said May it'd be closed, is what I said. So I'm looking pretty good.
I mean,
I'm looking pretty good.
You put the game in hospice, man.
I think I'm pretty good. My odds are pretty good. Krabsy says, with Embark CEO becoming executive chairman of the parent company, do we see quality drop of Embark and negatively impacted? I'm going to say no, because the amount of people that they took from the original DICE that went over to Embark, I think every single person there is capable of doing amazing things because they've proved themselves year after year when they've created this stuff. So I'm going to say no. I think it doesn't hit the company negative. If anything, it's positive because now another person comes up the ranks because he's now promoted and someone else steps up to the ranks. And I think that's even better because he's still involved. And then someone else starts to show that not only are they a good developer, but they're also a good leader. So I think that can even merge into something even bigger for Embark going forward. Because remember, they're a brand new company, smaller company in the grand scheme of things. So I think it's good for them.
I don't know, man. But the patience level for the guys in charge overseeing these game companies, maybe I give them 8 months, maybe 10 months. If they don't release something that's actually positive in their book, they start moving people around. That's the issue. That's the main issue.
But here's the thing, right? Look at what they did. They hired within and a person that was very capable of doing the job, unlike Microsoft, who just grabbed somebody and was like, "You're CEO now of the gaming company. I know nothing about games. Shut up. You know AI. Go." Right? Like,
be free.
It's just weird. Yeah, be free. Go, my daughter. Fly.
Just goes to show you don't need to be qualified. In the corpo world, you don't need to be qualified. I told you, corpos float around. Yeah. They float around in the ether, and then someone just goes, "Oh, there's someone over here," and they just move over to this company. They're just floating around, right? They don't go to Indeed. They go, "Who's floating around out there and wants a job at a big company?"
Nobody cares. They just keep. They're just like, yeah,
they float around.
It's like catching a fly.
At that level, dude, they don't. It's not like you you're becoming unemployable, right? You could destroy an entire company. You just go right back in the ether, and someone goes, "Hey, they have 3 years experience in this.
Yeah, they know something better." Yeah,
the company. Hey, he's learned. Put him in.
Krebsy asks, do we see a Haven Fire Games studio close this year? Do we see Destiny 3 announced this year, even though it would be 2 years away? And do we see a big Minecraft update to compete with Hytale this year? Well, you've asked this question before about Destiny. This all hinges on Marathon. We said this like 2 weeks ago when I said if Marathon comes out and is amazing, then they announce Destiny 3 down the road. if Marathon comes out and it fails miserably, they announce Destiny 3 much sooner because
So get ready for the Destiny 3 unveiling.
Right, Destiny 3 is coming sooner rather than later, or later rather than sooner, but it's going to happen. As far as Minecraft update goes, I'm starting to see videos pop up of Minecraft.
They have to work on stuff now.
Minecraft content creators like making apology videos to their fans because they're like, I'm so sorry. I know I haven't been playing Minecraft a lot lately because I'm playing Hytale, and Hytale, I've been playing Minecraft for the last 9 years, and I just
want to play something new.
Right, I just want to break. Right, so they're already making this, and there's more bugs in the updates for Minecraft. So I see Minecraft might have an Overwatch moment here in the next 6 months, and they might actually wake up to start competing with Hytale because right now Hytale's not released; it's just an early access. So they have time. So
that's correct.
But we'll see what happens there. What do you think, Sarge? Oh, and Fair Games. Fair Games DOA on arrival. That game is done on arrival. It'll go faster. It'll close faster than High Guard, but slower than Concord. It'll be somewhere between that method. So
you want to play the full monthly price for Hospice.
That's right. Say it's somewhere between 14 days and 1 month.
It's just sad, dude.
Next. What was your thing, Sarge? I didn't even. Sorry. Well,
no, I mentioned it. I don't think. Listen, it's the same boat. It's the same boat. If whatever they have on the plate doesn't hit their expectation level, they're gone. This is not even about second chances or anything else, right? If it doesn't hit their expectation level, they're gone. I mean, it's not even fun to talk about it anymore because it's just another studio that goes to the pasture. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Next one is Altern says, do you think Sony should fire Herman Holtz and hire Sarah Bond /Phil? Herman's losing his job this year.
Yeah.
Herman's losing his job this year. We're just waiting to see what happens with Marathon. Right now, Herman Holtz is like holding onto the ledge of the cliff.
Somebody has to be blamed for buying Bungie for that much money. Somebody has to be blamed.
Yeah. He's holding onto the edge of the cliff right now. If Marathon's successful, he gets some extra time.
He gets extra life.
If Marathon, something goes wrong with Marathon,
he one-ups.
He's out. He's out. We'll see. Aku says, why are we skipping over the fact that they announced the release date after the State of Play, where we have made the State of Play way better?
That's because it's a guess. It's not an actual date. That's why.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that. It wasn't ready at the State of Play.
That's correct.
And then they hit a thing afterwards. It's like, all right, now we can say it.
Well, they're in a room together. So what do you think? 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 Like every 2 hours, an email comes in. So what do you think? So what do you think? What do you think? Like December, October? What do you think?
It is weird that they do it on like a tweet and not an actual like an event. But whatever.
Because it's not an event because it's a guess. I'm kind of having a party this year. I'll let you know. Cool. What did you just tell me? Nothing. You told me nothing.
Next question. Travis says, can someone afford to buy a Ubisoft or not quite yet? If so, how would who would you want to splinter cell Prince of Persia?
First of all, the cancer that resides inside Ubisoft on the wokest of levels has to be eradicated before anyone buys that studio, right? Let them go down with the ship. No one should buy them. Let them go down with the ship. Let it go, and we'll move on. You cannot get rid of all the people inside that company that need to go. Let it go. There is no saving that company. We already were told multiple times that they are changing nothing. They are going full force in exactly the same direction that they've been going for the last 5 years. It was said by them to shareholders. Have a nice day. Nobody's buying.
Ray says, are we seeing Phil Spencer this spring at the Xbox Showcase? I don't think so. I think bringing Phil back kind of undermines what Asha Sharma is there, right? You have to when you're behind your kid on the bicycle and you're like, I'm not going to let go. I'm not going to let go. And then they turn around and you're not holding on to the bike anymore.
You lied.
Right. You lied, and they're doing their own thing, right? So basically, that's what I'm saying. Like he'll be like, yeah, I'll be there for you, but she's got to be the head. She can't have him go on stage because that undermines her then, and so she needs to show command. So I don't think we see Phil. Phil was at the Vince Sampella memorial, speaking a couple words about him, which was nice to see. But I don't think we see Phil. If he comes in, it'll be like a video of Phil. Not Phil in person. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so at the event, Phil will say something, but he won't be there in person to speak on stage. Let's see. Next one. Alexander Smith says, who were you? Who were your go-to characters in X-Men Arcade? Oh, I'm a Wolverine guy. I'm a Wolverine guy. That was it. I was just Wolverine.
When I played, it was
and Cyclops. I played Cyclops as well. It was
Cyclops and
Colossus.
I think it was Cyclops and Storm. I think are the ones I picked.
Storm was good, yeah,
because I liked being able to avoid the spammy melee guys that just always hit you with the same move.
Alexander's next question is: where should one start when playing Fallout 76?
From the beginning.
I was going to say the beginning. Yeah, the beginning. There's no other answer than that. I'm sorry if that comes across as like duh, but like that's it. You just start at the beginning.
I mean, it makes more sense now. The story makes more sense now from the beginning because it actually opens up to what was going on in the game as opposed to how it really started.
Yeah, just
when you started, there was no NPCs and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, just take your time. It's more of it's a marathon, not a race. You know what I mean? So like when
there's a lot of tutorial stuff in the beginning.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to see and do, and there's not really a beaten path that you have to follow. Like, so just take your time with it. Krebsy says, does Vagoda call in for CEOs retiring? I mean, he can. Should we?
Vagoda is about the death of a game, not about the firing of a corpo.
I mean, technically, he's he's more of a If one of them pass, then we could do that. Let's see. Next one. Krebsy says, if High Guard survives into the summer, do we see a trailer for a Jeff Summer Game Fest?
Why do you wish this even upon us, Krebsy? Why would you even put that into the universe?
No, it would look so. Did you see the numbers? It would look so stupid if he had it there. Like, they have another update, season 16. Like just shut up, Jeff. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit. So, no.
Jeff didn't do anything wrong. He did exactly what he was paid to do.
Travis says, Sarge, knowing that Owlcat says 40K Dark Heresy will be easier to get into the Rogue Trader, does this make it appealing to you or not really?
I'm very selective on what 40K games I play because every time I play one that sucks, it makes me like the IP less. So that's why I didn't play Vermintide because I thought it was just a cheap 4-player shoot 'em up type of thing. And so when Darktide came out, I watched a bunch of videos and reviews on it, and that's why I got it. Same thing with Dawn of War. Like the games prior to Dawn of War 1 were all token games as garbage. But Dawn of War 1 did what you're supposed to do for the 40K universe. You incorporated everything. The gameplay was great. The modding community took over. The modding community made the game even better. I thought the in-between games weren't that good. So to me, I'm very selective. So I'll look at it and I'll make my decision. Like right now, I'm waiting for more information, actual information on the 40K Total War. That's the one I'm interested in. That's the one I'm seeing whether or not we move forward, because that one has to cross so many boundaries and remain playable, and not just playable. It's got to be multiplayable. Like you got to be able to fight against other guys, and it's got to run proper. Like the fantasy stuff is a little bit easier because it's rank and file, and flanking means a lot. in the 40K universe, you're talking about range combat, all kinds of things. I think it's going to be very difficult to incorporate that into this game. I want to see how they do it. But that's why I still have the first one and the second one all with all the mods. Keeps me busy. And then Space Marine 2. Keeps it fresh in the head.
All right, the last question I'll answer is Alexander says, what's your idea for next Insomniac Marvel game? To me, X-Men. It's got to be an X-Men game, and it's got to be multiple, not multiplayer. I just want multiple people so you can play. So think of Spider-Man like Miles Morales and Spider-Man 2, where you're one or the other. But now you get to play the game. You could play as, Colossus or a Storm or Wolverine or Jean. So you're playing like 4 or 5 different characters in the game. That's what I would like from Insomniac, but that's just me. What about you, Sarge?
I just want them to get away from the standard stuff. I mean,
well, Insomniac makes good games. They make.
I'll be honest with you. They still haven't done it correctly yet, right? I think they can go in a different direction. I think you need to make a villain game. I think Marvel needs to make a villain game.
Well, there's rumors that they're actually doing a Venom game.
But I don't know if I count Venom as villain. He's more of independent. Like I'm talking about a true story of plot line with the villain.
Who would you pick as the villain?
That's a tough one. I mean, if we're doing the friends of heroes to help try to bring you down, I think probably one of the Sinister Six. And if not that one, you go over the top and you pick like Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
Or Red Skull. You got to pick someone bad. You got to pick someone badass.
Yeah, I would either pick. I guess you could pick Magneto. But the problem is with a villain game, I think if you have a villain game, it just turns into Grand Theft Auto. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Where if you have a villain game, you're bad guys. You just destroy everything.
No,
right?
it's not based on that. It's based on you. The storyline is you have to accomplish so many different things, and then once you do these things, the story advances. You're not just going around destroying everything. You're systematically trying to not get caught, to not bring down the heroes on you. If you make mistakes in the game, then you have to fight the hero, right? The idea is to not have to fight the hero.
Well, actually, that's actually interesting. Altern says, so like Thanos game or Green Goblin game. Yeah, Thanos going around trying to collect the stones. That actually might be pretty cool, right? So your actual, like your boss fights are going up against the I mean, Suicide Squad kind of did it correct. Story-wise, I thought it was pretty good. A little bit, right? Where you're the bad guys going up against the good guys.
Right, but they went too far. Because you were actually saying that you want to kill the heroes, and a lot of people have deep roots in comic books don't want the heroes killed.
Yeah,
like you could beat somebody up in a video game and beat them up, and they're done.
Thanos would kill them,
right? Well, that's in the movie.
Jason says, make a game where we play as the Sentinels, and we go capture the mutants and have to minimize the civilization casualties and property damage.
Like I think I think how it would work is you'd be the villain. You would fight certain heroes during the course of the game, but the idea is to find other villains that are going to help you, and then you get to be those villains as well and fight against the heroes.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff.
I think it would be new and fresh and get people thinking about something different than the same old trope is what they've been doing.
Another game they could do possibly, which they've done in the past. I mean, they can make another Deadpool game. They can make another Daredevil game. I think Daredevil would be a cool game to do as well.
But if you made a Daredevil game, you'd have to do it VR so you can see in the same vision he sees.
Yeah, you could do that.
And we see who can actually play the game without vomiting. Because you have to see in bat vision. You locked up. Are you crashing?
I'm here.
That I think if you were going to go balls to the wall, that's how you would make a Daredevil game. You would be VR, and you'd have to look at it. You have to play the game in bat vision. We'll see. We'll see who wants to be the actual hero or not. Like, this guy fucking sucks. Can't see shit.
Yeah, all right, I want to say thank you again to Aku for the 37 months, and I want to say thank you again to Ron Slusher for the $5 today. Appreciate it very much. Generation X Gaming, a weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. If you guys like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We also live every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on 30NSG. You can also watch the past broadcast over on Spotify, Anchor.fm, and anywhere else a podcast is listened to, iTunes and whatnot. Check it out there. If you do watch us or listen to us over on Spotify, give it a review, give it a comment. Share it out with other people. We do appreciate you. We are done for the week. I'll probably do an upload this weekend, or we'll just be back live on Monday for the morning show, which is the Daily Grind, Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. Appreciate it very much. Go check out the music over on Spotify. We have a brand new album up. It's only been out for about a week. It's called Perk Up Press Play Volume 2. Go check that out. And then I think that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.
Game on, guys.
Retro meets the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from gaming sips. Critical minds and candid